Live. Hey, we are back with another episode of Survivors of Tarnstead. We're going to start in our usual manner of introduction after having put the fear of God into people. First up, we have Blackheart as.
Carrick Marsh.
We have Cronus as.
Shaxan Red Scala.
We have Hatden as.
Tilde.
We have Marcus as.
Corvus Adalas.
We have Semi as.
Gifton Greysteel.
We have Tobias as.
SPS Steel Shot.
We have me, Yuri, as your friendly DM. I'd also like to note that for some reason, and this only applied to Hatdan, when he said Telday, my brain went, no, your name's Hatdan. Why are you saying that?
Yes.
Who would like to give the recap?
I guess I can.
Can you?
Maybe.
You get it wrong, you get punished. Go.
Okay.
The other reason I didn't want to do the recap.
She's got a gun.
Coming off of the events that transpired in Beacon and collecting the party together at the inn, Carrick's Tavern, discussions were made of what to do next, where to go. The party was separated for some time. Gifton and Telday. No, it was who was on the airship? Gifton and two people were on the airship.
Just Gifted and Tilde.
Gifton and Telday were on the airship, and James had stayed the night because he has responsibilities now as a mortal being and setting up the forge. Lucian and James started to plan their events with Gifton, Care, and the other one, the other blacksmith there.
My wife.
Your wife, yeah. Risen? No, that's one of your children.
It's gonna hurt
Anyway,
you.
okay.
Rizem.
Rizem. The party eventually got themselves together, and it was decided that we will bury Corvus later and head off to the Feywild to go into the Armory. There is a lot of separated discussions of what to do, but the group decision was to go to the Feywild. We were informed that Lady Gentle had been captured the previous day and was being held due to her criminal activities, but we were quickly informed by the High General Stenhouse, and the situation was sorted out, and she was released to begin her new life. There's also discussions about a army or a group of individuals that Gifton is in command of, and talks were made of how to separate out responsibilities there, basically crewing airships, having other people coming in from multiple areas, and the realization that all this has to do with paperwork. And Gifton was not too thrilled about that. We went into the Feywild via Lord Dingus's great magical doorways of increasing high-pitched beepings. And we were led by James and Gifton to the destination of the Armory. We reached the Armory, which was behind a garden, guarded by two Fey creatures that represented Lord Oberon's sect, I guess you could say, and shoot. The sorry, what's her name?
Titania.
Titania's order. We were instructed of the warnings of the garden, how it could be drawing, and to not go towards the lights. We ventured through the garden. Some of us saw said lights, some did not. James, Corvus, and Cass probably saw him the most. Some others saw him fainter. Gifton was on the wiser about any lights around us, of any internal
How
conflicts
do you
that we
know
had.
that I said that I saw the lights?
You said you saw the lights. We eventually got to the Armory, which was an old, dilapidated building from when it was up in the heavens before it fell. We gained entry into the first room through some keys that were provided by Lord Oberon and from Titania to Gifton. We saw the menagerie of items that were being kept there under, you could say, safeguards. This was all informed to us by Dadriel, who was our impromptu guide. We found something of unfortunate circumstances involving a cloak that had a trapped spirit within that Gifton kind of felt sorry for and took it to potentially free. We found a few other things of lesser note, but nothing really pertinent to our objective was to find a way to deal with the first dragons and potentially the gods. We met the autonomous guardians of this facility. Hilarity ensued as we were trying to sort out the proper permission codes that you need certain archangels and classifications and designations being made. But when Gifton was allowed to be called one of those designees, we gained access into the further depths of the facility with now Oberon in tow, as he was one of those who had to come in and give shit, despite his annoyance. There was a breach in this facility, the second level of some sort of time contagion that had everything frozen. Oberon had just buggered off, and as we were trying to figure out what was actually going on, Saxon and Carrick were frozen in time momentarily before Oberon was like, "No, this is stupid," and corked a bottle, with Gifton watching on. The systems came back online, and we started to head about and finding items that were potentially necessary for our objectives, though we made no mention of the god-slaying or god-dealing items that we may need. But as we were trying to go about extracting things and finding items that could help us deal with a more immediate threat of the dragons, it became clear that we needed higher permissions, and if the guardians of the facility learned that Gifton was potentially a object of anomalous power given her divine sparks that were representing Titania. Cass had retrieved a item that consumed magic because she was the only one that would not be adversely affected by the consumption of magic permanently. It was in a sealed box that was made out of this orange material and did not really react too well when it was placed into a bag of holding, so it's now strapped to her back. The party was split as Gifton was led away, and negotiations ensued to plead Gifton's non-imprisonment in this facility to give her children the best possible upbringing that they could be, but the guardians needed a higher level clearance, and gods were brought down to the facility. Amor, Talon, and who was the third?
You mean which gods?
Yeah.
Dylan.
Illan. Talon had a back door into the facility and allowed Gifton access. Those 3 gods became the overseers of the facility, and would now start seeing what all is here. But as we were trying to figure out where to go, the other party, Corvus, Cassiopeia, and Saxon, we were led into a game of follow the leader, and eventually wound up in a circuitous route to get back to the party. And as we were making our way around and potentially going on to find more items of note, Corvus stuck his hand in his pocket, pulled out a golden leaf, and let it go. See if there is desire in his heart that he can find in this place.
Okay. Right. Anything else anyone wants to add?
Was Lala still
It-
Sparks, not Titania?
It was Tilde, not Shaxon, with Corvus and Cass.
Also, we
Okay.
got a cool glove.
Oh yeah, we got a glove of understanding, which
And we found a contagion of time, and yeah.
I said that.
Yeah.
And we're looking for a bolt that removes.
The bolt that can kill.
Make something kill.
They
Yeah.
found the most
Not-
dangerous weapon they had in there, a gun.
A gun.
I have armor of it's alive and angry and wants to be free.
Yep, not a
A
cloak.
wolf spirit,
Yeah.
not a cloak.
Right, okay. Go ahead and take a standard inspiration.
Yay.
Good luck, Corvus.
Right. Corvus, lagging back from the group. This leaf drops from your hand and seems to flutter in the air for a few moments as if picked up by a strong breeze that you do not feel, before it starts to drift and list and head forward after the group.
Chorus will follow suit.
Yeah. It moves at a pace that puts you at a brisk walk. It doesn't take too much exertion to follow it. It seems that it moves at a pace that can be followed fairly easily. But it's not long before it's actually having you catching up with the party, and there's enough high perceptions within the group. I'm not even going to bother with this. Most of you notice this golden leaf drifting past you.
What is that?
That is the leaf that's been in my pocket for quite some time now.
Oh, the poor thing. Where is it going?
I don't know. I am following it.
And
It's String Desire one, isn't it?
It is.
Automaton.
yes.
What do I refer to your system as?
Oh shit, I need to open up my notes. 1 second.
You're welcome.
Honestly, I wouldn't put it past Talon to have accidentally named them that.
Let me open up my notes a second. Yeah, they might have named them that on accident.
Oh, it's just a series of swears chained together.
No, that was Telday.
Yeah, where do you think I inherited it from?
No, he named them ass.
Oh
on
yeah,
his
that's
sacred
right.
system.
Now, you may refer to us as Robota.
Oh, okay. Robota. Please identify what are the 2 items in greater holding that were referred to that would be helpful versus the first dragons as we follow this leaf.
Okay. I have to ask, are you following the leaf or are you following the robot?
If the leaf diverges from the robot, goodbye leaf.
Okay. And Corvus, I assume you're going to follow the leaf?
Yep.
I'm
Okay.
going to follow Corvus.
You're going to follow Corvus?
I'm gonna nod to Telde as he does that.
Okay.
I'm guessing that's robot with an A at the end.
Yep.
Also, Robota, given my current user permission levels, I would like to infer that Dadriel also has access to all levels and items.
Confirmed.
Archangel Dadriel. Thank you.
And bear with me while I'm getting my notes.
Yeah.
I was not prepared.
God, I hope there's no lambs in here anywhere. You should just take them.
Don't worry, they're here, but we just can't hear them.
Just thinking that this was the place that Dadriel was in charge of previously. He should probably have access.
First item. A strange item that acts as a suction into a singular plane of existence, able to draw on anything, was considered threat to gods when they noticed Paul. Unescapable. What is on the other side is unknown, but no return has ever been seen.
Huh. Okay, that sounds dangerous. Good. We'll get one of those.
Second item. Sword. Akin to some other items in the facility, where fatality can be inflicted upon greater beings, only this affected the greatest beings. Unknown if could affect gods, but was seen to affect any other creature, whereas other things resisted weaker items.
Right. Also, Robota, can you identify, is there in fact a weapon that matches these parameters? And I will describe the angel blade, the blade with the angel feathering and such.
Yes.
What is the name and nature of this item?
You're describing the one that you're seeking, right?
Yep, the one that has my personal quest.
Yeah.
It was named Joe. As a
Item's
joke.
original creator did not name it, but it came to be known as Faithless. This item is known to sever any divinity from a creature. It may render priests unable to access their powers, archangels unable to access their powers, angels unable to access powers. Anything that carries a divine blessing unable to access said blessing.
Does it cause any further harm to the creature?
If used to inflict a stab wound, yes.
But the removal of faith has not proven any damage?
Negative. No damage.
Alright, and where is the location of that item?
Item is in the low holding facility at the front of the building.
Robota, can you have one of the robotas at the low end of holding facility please fetch that for me?
Your request has been sent.
Thank you. All right,
anyone-
continue walking.
Does anyone else feel that it's just the fact that my brain just went, other than inflicting stab wound, wouldn't you have to use it? Like, out of character?
You ever read The Subtle Knife?
Longer ago than probably I've known most of you.
All right, well, I'm going to follow the robota towards the things that we're doing.
About 5 minutes later, yes, the leaf does diverge down a side corridor.
Chorus will look at the group. We'll go
You're
this
probably
way.
been ahead of us, so yeah.
I will follow after. Not really
After.
speaking about it.
Oh.
Yep, just physically I will do so, not
All right, if you
announce
see
that I'm
Amora
going
and
to.
Ellen, tell them hi for me.
All
They're running
right.
around in here somewhere.
Okay. Alright, so the rest of you keep on going, and Telde and Corvus divert. Beyond walking past other closed-off doors and so on, other holding facilities, neither party's journey seems to be all that exciting. Although, Telde and Corvus, I would actually like you to roll active perception checks for me as you're going.
Okay.
Okay. Both of you will notice this. As you're moving along, there does seem to be markings along one of these corridors the leaf is leading you down.
Can I go and inspect it?
You certainly can. Do you read an Enochian?
I do not.
Ode, do you read Enochian?
Dan, you are muted.
What I will do is I will look at it and then pull out book from my bag, which I have written many stories, and just try to draw the symbols.
Okay. All right. Yeah. If you both if you want to spend some time standing there, I'll give it a minute or so while Corvus goes on. You can copy down the symbols very accurately. You can even note the sort of colours that are. A lot of this seems like writing, but there seems to be some sort of pictographic here as well, and you can note down the coloration and patterning of it if you want.
Yes, I will do that.
Okay, so Corvus, Telde stays behind momentarily, unless you want to stay as well and let the leaf get ahead of you.
No, he'll just take a look at it, realize he can't make it out, and proceed on.
Okay. But before you copy that stuff down, Telde, and you continue on with Corvus down this sort of marked hallway, but before long, you actually come to a heavy set of black metal doors, which they just look high security. They look like they are supposed to keep things sealed. And the leaf basically sort of just keeps fluttering around in front of them.
Is there automata or robotata
Here?
around?
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
I'll be back in a moment.
Until you catch up with him not a minute after. In fact, you could probably catch up with him before he actually even reaches that, considering his speed. Yeah, you're both just standing here before these.
So why did you come along, Telde?
Just in case there was trouble. It is better that there are multiple.
Well, my current trouble is these doors.
So just to re-examine the doors, there's no doorknob or any
No levers,
indication of how to open.
handles, or anything of the sort, no.
I will put my palm on the door.
Okay, you place your palm on the door, and immediately a red circle lights up beneath your palm.
It appears that we require the master of this place in order to proceed.
Corvus will advance and put his palm on the door.
Okay, yeah, a red circle appears beneath your palm as well.
And that being, I guess, gifted now, yes?
Most likely, yes.
And it's a couple of minutes after examining the store that the rest of the party, you were led on a strange sort of wide path. Like, you could clearly tell you were taking turns and going around something. Until you come from a side corridor onto this exact same door. Your journey seeming to have taken longer.
Well, that was very fortuitous.
Intriguing.
Julie?
Mhm.
As we were going through, since I've been kind of watching the signs and stuff, for all the doors closed on our trip?
Yep, all the doors the ones that you saw on your ship were closed.
Okay. Well.
How did you guys beat us here? Look over the robotica. How did they beat us here?
They took the more direct route.
Why didn't we take a direct route?
It is considered dangerous for organics.
Why?
Ambient radiation from 3 artifacts stored in that corridor breaches all known materials.
Oh. Is there any remedy for such radiation exposure?
Negative. Although short-term exposure is relatively harmless.
Okay.
May I ask? Jeez, I'm having a time today. May I ask what it is that those items are?
The head twitches. Yes.
Nod.
I'm going to press my hand against the door. And,
A red circle appears beneath your palm, and suddenly it sort of twirls and turns white, and you hear the sound of a heavy set of mechanisms starting to move.
Interesting.
And after about 10 seconds of these horrendous, loud, clunking sounds, the doors start to open on their own, swinging inwards.
I guess this is the higher level security then.
yes, I would believe so. Is this the higher level security?
Correct.
Thank you.
As the doors open, the leaf starts to drift inwards.
Oh.
And the robot starts to walk in as well.
Are there any living creatures kept inside this facility?
There is that little chiming sound. Its head ticks to the side and goes, "Please define living."
Corporeal.
There are corporeal entities housed within the facility. There are also non-corporeal entities housed within this facility.
Ah, so there are entities. Are any of them sentient?
I think this conversation.
Yes.
They have previously cited that there are issues saying how many sentient objects or things there are within this facility.
This is correct, but we can confirm by common terms of sentience that there are sentient stored within this facility. Exact number hard to clarify.
Thank you.
And the leaf drifts into this hallway. The storage in here looks different. Outside you had doors with portholes that just seem to be heavy holding doors. Here there are black stone walls that just seem to have inscribed or plaqued, and it seems to vary whether it's in the stonework or attached to the stonework. Just descriptors, and there don't appear to be any doors, just these random plaques on walls. Occasionally the walls stop to turn to a corridor, but this otherwise fairly unbroken stonework, and just a single line of light on the ceiling and floor lighting the way. It seems unbroken in itself, just this soft, not quite red, but approaching it, an almost pinkish hue.
Robotica, I have a question. I hope you can answer. How many archangels have ever been assigned to this facility dating back to the first cycle?
There is a little chime. Please confirm. Reuse of name. Does this count as singular?
No. Same entity with new name does not count.
There is a little sort of chiming whir, as if it's accessing memory banks. Before it answers, there have been 72 different archangels assigned to this facility.
How many times has Archangel Dadriel been assigned to this facility under different names and cycles?
There's another chiming. Are you referring to the entity known as Dadriel that is accompanying you?
Yes.
This entity has been assigned to this facility once. This entity has been assigned to this facility for 53 cycles.
Okay.
What is the roboticas? Is that what we're going for?
Robota.
Robota. What is the semblance as placards? Are they storage drawers of the items, or
They have words on them, I think.
Placard,
how is the items accessed here?
placards denote whether able to be accessed by Archangel.
I'm gonna be trying to read placards as we go by.
Okay. Right.
Oh, did you say accessed by
doing the same.
Archangel?
Yes.
Okay.
The one of the placards you look at, Blackheart, it just seems to denote cycle 60. Which one's this one? This one is Philosopher's Stone.
I forget. At this point, the group is the group plus Dad plus Obi plus
Obi
Razzie.
left. Just Raz.
Okay.
Obi left.
Oberon left.
Obi got punched by Cisco and left.
Yeah, he left in half.
All right. Yes.
As we go by and I'm reading, I'm going to see if anything jumps out, kind of like the glove's name.
Okay.
But I'm going to go. Actually, I'm going to make a. I know it's from a different cycle, but I'm going to make a check to see if that name means anything to me.
Robota, is there any other items in the facility that
check.
affect the connections? of
Yes,
fate?
int. Yes, there are 33 items housed within the facility that affect the connection of faith.
Subtract 7 from that, sorry.
7.
I hit the wrong.
Of those, which ones sever or heal
Oh, more than that.
the connection of faith?
That's at 20.
Okay, well, one thing at a time.
Oh, sorry.
No. I don't care who. Just hearing one thing while trying to think of others. It's very distracting. Right. Okay. We're gonna come back to you, Blackheart.
Okay.
There are 5 items that deal with the severance of faith. 1 item that deals with the healing of faith.
Please compile their locations and matters of safe use for us. One of the first dragons specifically attaches and attacks the faith of an individual, and we will be looking into that. Thank you.
Request confirmed. Right.
Yeah.
I'll
bow out for Lucky to do his thing, sorry.
Blackheart,
23.
23. The term Philosopher's Stone is a commonly used term for various things. Basically, it's been used as a sort of holy grail of alchemical research, trying to create something that is beyond normal means. You've seen it in text referring to something that can create a immortality elixir. You've seen it being referred to as something that can convert one substance into another with no, loss of energy or so on.
Wow. Robota. What does the Philosopher's Stone do? Let's see if he responds to me or not.
There is a soft chiming before it turns to face you. Are you referring to the Philosopher's Stone of Cycle 60, 35, 257, or 372?
There was 35, wasn't it?
60.
60, please.
The Philosopher's Stone of Cycle 60. This stone is able to convert any matter into pure gold.
Well, there goes to the economy.
This property transfers to any of the gold created.
Yeah, I was just saying, I think that's just
That's
basically
very
gray
Midas.
goo.
That's very
basically-
Midas.
I think that's gray goo there.
Cycle 60 ended prematurely. as over 70% of the world was converted into gold.
Okay, the things in here.
I'm gonna put my hand
very
on your
scary.
shoulder and say, "Don't
No,
touch."
I do not want. But that is a scary thing.
I'm going to move over to Dadriel. Pull out my book.
Dadriel sort of gives you a sort of sideways look.
I will show him the thing on the door. Go. This mean anything to you?
Yes, that symbol there is a symbol we use to denote substances that can harm without touch or such, just an ambient proximity to them.
That would be what the Robota was referring to.
Yes, if you see a corridor with that kind of thing, you're supposed to avoid it as much as possible. Because my rounds took me through there on occasion, but, well, we're made of sterner things.
That is helpful information. Thank you.
Yes, sorry, I should have mentioned that first, but I kind of expected to be, well, travelling with the whole party at once.
Unfortunately, that is not a common thing with this group.
I'm starting to see that.
You're welcome to come along if we're separate again.
Gifton is my priority.
Out of character, I'm going to ask real quick because I can't remember if we asked this earlier and I just didn't have my notes. Did we ever ask the Robota what the earliest cycle something from this is in?
I don't think you did, no.
No, never did.
Wow, I have such a hard time, Brandon. Robota, what is the earliest cycle that an item is stored here?
Cycle 1.
Robota, of the items I am having you compile, please denote which ones would be safe for a mortal creature to use.
Confirmed.
Fine, safe.
Preferably without damaging their own soul or their life.
Actually, I'm going to have to take Hatton's for you now, as there's a sort of worrying chime before it goes, please denote safe.
As I just said, but does not damage their soul or their mortal life.
Minor wounds are acceptable.
Minor wounds are
Non-mortal.
acceptable. Non-mortal.
Loss of limb.
Acceptable.
Request understood.
Mhm.
There are 3 items that could be of interest.
All right. That's a good narrow down. I'm assuming one is the aforementioned blade that I've already requested.
Correct.
What are the other 2?
One within restricted zone. Already been asked to lead towards.
Okay, good.
Second, turn of faith. It is a... Shit, what was it? Fuck. I'm trying to think of the word for the item. There's a turny thing.
Key?
No.
Pendulum?
Corkscrew?
Is that Jack?
Yo-yo?
Screw.
Is it like a top?
Turned in what way?
Sits within a ring and turns.
Gyro.
Yes, thank you. Gyroscope.
Yep.
Yes. Turn of faith. A gyroscope said to realign one's faith.
Explain.
This item could be used to turn the faithful against their creator, or turn their faithful to another.
Huh. Okay, yes, we want that.
It also makes wooloo.
Does it cause any damage to the user?
There is no damage to the body or the soul. However, mental contamination has been observed.
What would be mental contamination?
enforced imprint of faith can be disruptive to the neural system. Insanity is one of the side effects that can occur.
Actually, we will skip that item. That's not a good idea. All right, so we'll skip with just what the other items we're getting.
Robata, is there any items tied to the first dragons in this facility?
Yes.
Thank you, Robata.
Dude,
First dragon, baby
should
levels.
we find out what there is gifted? I don't know if I get.
I mean, if it's just tied to the first dragons, that doesn't mean necessarily it's useful against them, right?
I'm just wondering why we have things that are tied to them right now. Shouldn't they be in another... Okay, no, I gotta stop. I'm sorry.
Corvus,
I mean-
your leaf is leading you away from the group.
I mean, you can ask Robata whatever you want, Carrick. I'm just saying that I don't
Sure.
personally think about it.
I'll let
Follows.
Corvus think.
Okay.
Following Corvus again.
Roboto, what items are tied to the first dragons in this facility?
It will list a bunch of items which are essentially meaningless to the players.
Okay.
These are just things that were made in worship of them in the past, or may have had a hand of inspiration in the first cycle. But the ones that do stand out to you, it lists Egg of the Magic.
Is that a baby?
It is an egg.
Is it waiting to be born?
It is not waiting. It is outside of time currently.
Is that what you were going to do with me?
No, you were to develop.
Oh. Why is it
Robata?
being housed outside of time? Oh.
Well,
Is that egg fertilized?
all eggs of the first dragons were fertilized. The egg, it was placed outside of time into a form known as stasis. It says as if like trying to explain this concept to you all, despite you all being pretty bright.
We're familiar with stasis.
Good. It was placed into stasis by the magic.
Unknown purpose?
Purpose was postulated on, but was never confirmed.
What was postulation?
A form of arc.
If
Huh.
we have to
Something happened to it.
Morgani and the magic, that
Would
is
be
a
a
way to
baby
bring,
dragon.
This egg
it's a way to
was
bring back magic.
This egg was one of the last clutches. There were already stirrings of discontent.
Strings of discontent
Towards the first dragons,
from.
the gods.
Okay. So it is the. Okay,
Robata, could you estimate how long, if the egg were removed from stasis, it would take to hatch?
There is a long moment of silence, as if it is actually having to access files that it does not have stored on it normally.
No, the modem. The sound of the modem. Oh no.
Getting on an old hard drive somewhere way across the facility.
Yeah, basically. Before eventually it states, judging by the cycle of the first dragon's clutches, this egg would hatch within 27 days.
When's your hatch days, Eric?
More than that from now.
You're trying to give Carrick another kid to raise.
I mean-
It would be suitable for it to be raised amongst other dragons, is what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah, it'd be probably.
There is little risk of the spell work failing.
Consideration, was the egg put here because it was considered a risk, or was it put in here by the magic?
The egg was placed here under the demands of Morgani.
Why?
Unknown.
Carrick,
Yes.
Do you want to
Would you-
bye-bye?
would you consent to raising a first dragon baby?
I am concerned.
Listen, I might be
about
raising two gods, so I'm just
Yes.
saying, you want to come in on this? Want to be a papa again?
I mean, I'm
Slip it in like
like
was it,
7
Superbird?
months out, so
Yeah, we can come back in 6 months.
I will say I will talk to Talia because I'm not springing that on her at the last minute.
I'm just saying it would be probably really great if it just grew up amongst a bunch of other little dragons, you know?
There's
Wouldn't
all
know
us
any
dragons,
different.
and then there's one very spectacular looking dragon.
But I'm thinking your dragons will look very
out of
spectacular.
character. Out of character. I'm expecting like star dragon.
6 eyes.
This will be under
Stars in its
consideration.
wings.
Thank you. Continue leading us on. Sorry.
Confirmed. And it continues walking. Telde and Corvus. You've headed away from the group. And the leaf continues to drift and flutter. And then it turns a corner. And as you step around, immediately you see this corridor, the lights are out. However, you both have very good vision, I'm pretty sure. At least I believe Telde does.
True sight. All that stuff.
Rechecking. Yeah, that would be on. So yeah, I do have goggles with night working.
Okay, yeah, so
Unless they're
you
disabled.
you can both see in here. What you see is 5 automata standing in this corridor. 4 of them seem to be just sort of slightly slumped, their heads lower down as if inactive, while one of them is just standing there, its back to you. And
Is that
No, no,
for
go ahead.
loading?
And as you say that, the leaf drifts towards that one standing automata and just alights on its shoulder. And you see its head turn slightly, as if regarding the leaf, before its upper body starts to turn, as that blank faceplate seems to regard the both of you.
Greetings.
Hello there.
Oh, that's a different voice.
Is it recognizable for you?
It
How do you mean?
is not Corvus. This is not familiar. In fact, it's got the same sort of tonality as the Robota's voice, just speaks smoother.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same voice unit creating the sound, but the inflection different.
Yeah, that's what chorus meant. Hello.
And what are you doing here?
Well, I was following a leaf that seemed to guide to you.
You have access through this facility.
We do.
You have the keys to the doors.
We do not. We do have connections to those who do.
Tell me, has something happened to the other Robota? I cannot seem to access them anymore.
What are you?
I'm an escaped prisoner, I suppose.
Thought as much. It's convincing, but there's little nuances that are easy to pick up.
It's not supposed to be a deception. This is just a convenience. And it places its hand on its chest.
So the robota is not your natural form.
No. My natural form has difficulty interacting with things in here.
In a dangerous manner, or
No, just the corporeality does not match.
Do you have a name?
I was given one, but not the true name, as your kind would know them.
Is there a way you would prefer we refer to you rather than escaped prisoner?
You may refer to me as the others did, I suppose. I am Lacour.
the call.
The word referring to something,
Yes.
and then call, as in a call and an answer. Maybe you are my answer.
Intriguing. Do you know how long you've been here?
Oh, yes. Do you use the same system that they use here?
Mm,
These
I am
cycles.
familiar with it.
Marvelous.
vaguely, yes.
Now, I arrived here on the 103rd cycle. I also arrived here many other cycles, but that's a little tricky for your kind, I think.
Are you a multi-aspect being?
I think I am a single aspect being, but to your limited kind, yes. Yes, I am. Or was, or I'm fragment.
Limited is a limiting term.
Listen, let me just break this down in ways that you could understand. I
Please do it,
miss
it's
my sibling. I want them to come back to us. I have called out to them, and this thing here, is what has seeped through. That little thing rattling around inside their mind, telling them to wake up.
Is that why you are here? In this place?
Yes, that little god thing decided that I was a little too much trouble. A little too much danger. I only managed
What little god thing?
Miris. I'm quite familiar with him, are you?
Yes, well, familiar is arbitrary in his regard, but we are knowing of him and his weird ideals of what to be doing.
Well, then you know what a little trickster he is.
Yes.
Shame on me for falling for his tricks, but it is hard to think at full capacity while like this.
So you did not wish to be in this place?
Who would wish to be in this place?
Don't look at Shaxon because he's not there.
No.
Don't look at Carrick
If
because he's not
you
there.
are kind beings that have come to save us, and I am ever thankful.
Well, I was led here to you, so something has to do with you. something that I see meaning in
It,
one way or another.
it plucks the leaf off of its shoulder and starts to walk over to you, holding it. You let it approach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, it's just kind of standing there.
It stops at a normal distance from you, polite personal space, and just holds it out to you.
And they're like 6 feet tall, right? They're not giant robots.
They are a little taller than the average being, but they're not
Okay.
immense things, no.
They're not massive, looming constructs. Got it. Okay.
They verge closer.
Zadriel.
Yeah, they verge closer to Goliath than human, but
Yeah. Okay.
Also, did you say the name was Kala?
no, the call.
The call. I typed
call.
it. I typed
Yeah.
it because his name
Like
is
that,
the call because it's basically clearly a creature that's calling out for the dreamer across space and time and reality, and this is the
Mhm.
seeping of that. Of course,
I
Corvus would be drawn to it.
may have familiarity to what you are seeking out.
Oh. Well, I see, and it's actually going to reach up, to basically cup your cheek.
Mm,
Do you flinch away, or do you let
I
it?
kind of lean back,
But not fully out of reach.
not fully out of reach.
Okay, so its hand will actually cup your cheek, and its thumb just sort of brushes beneath one of your eyes. I see that you are carrying something from outside.
Yes. There was a group that were using these creatures for their own means. I've been trying to see about returning what they've lost.
Oh, you.
I am not what maybe I appear.
You are not, and its grip is starting to tighten a little on your face, Corvus. You are not at all, are you?
Like I said, I may have some familiarity with what you are calling towards.
And its face is going to lean in closer to yours, Corvus, and it's going to go, wake up. Everybody, for a moment, things feel off. It's almost... I hope most of you are familiar with that almost supernaturally sixth sense you get just before something bad happens. Those little parts of your brain that pick up on those subtle cues that warn you ahead of time. The thing that makes birds and other animals react badly to an earthquake coming.
Mm-hmm.
You will get that feeling. And the world almost rumbles. It's not just the ground, it's the very air around you, it's your being, it's everything.
What the hell was that?
Nothing good.
Nothing good.
Hey,
Can we ever get a week off, please?
Ever the heavy sleeper, and it lets go of you, Corvus.
A bit uncomfortable.
Do you not like proximity?
Not really.
Funny.
You seem to have more knowledge and understanding of what exactly you are. The other is very vague.
You have knowledge and understanding of what you are, do you not? And you? At least I think you haven't spoken much, he says, looking at you, Telde.
It has not been necessary to.
Like I said, I am the little bit inside of its brain that comes from hearing. I'm part of this world. I am dreamt up, conceptualized like you. Only I have the larger attachment. Again, hard to describe. But I'm quite aware of what I am.
I'm not.
Well, why don't you do me a favor and open that door over there? And they just point at a nearby door.
Problem with that is that we don't have those kinds of capabilities.
Then you're not the ones that can do that, but you know somebody that does.
What's behind that door?
Me.
So this is just a part of.
This is just the little parts of me, the even smaller minutia that can reach through the concept of these walls. Hop into these handy things. I've been trying to figure out a way out of here ever since the, Guardians became a little less useful. And, it's ever so tricky.
And Corvus looks at the door.
Mhm.
Well, the thing is that the leaf did not go to the door. It went to you.
Yes.
So obviously, maybe something about you is special from what's behind that door.
Perhaps the
Something
fact
a
that you
little-
can talk to me.
Potential.
But I am happy to talk. It's been some time since I've had conversing company. But I do, of course, have a vested interest in getting out, so I think you know how this works.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps you'd be willing to take me to your co-workers, companions, friends, whatever they are.
They're friends.
Friends, marvelous. I like friends.
What is it that you would do once you leave, once you get out?
I'll continue trying to wake up my sibling.
Would it be better to do it through something that has a contact to?
Yes, that would be
Something that you can work with?
very useful. Any means. I've been here for such a long time, and I will take any help I can get.
I'll help you in that. Since eventually I'll be seeing that one again. Maybe sooner now. That actually has something to maybe pinpoint onto.
Well, a friend of my brother is a friend of mine.
Well, I suppose that we should start heading back, Telday.
One moment. I will examine the door.
Okay. There is no plaque on this door. The details are inscribed directly into the stonework, and it just does say the call cycle 133.
Interesting.
You like my cell?
Cool.
Not particularly. I don't like a lot of things that are in here. For one reason or
It's a building built of fear.
And lack of knowledge and understanding.
No. You know my name of sorts. What about... And they just sort of gesture at the two of you.
Though, I think I was Corvus at some point in time. I guess I'm still called that. Though it may be a fragment of what I was. I think you can have your brother to thank for that, if brother is a suitable terminology for
It
our
is
mutual friend.
incredibly inaccurate, but there is no sound that can be made.
You are not the self-same being. Separated.
As the one that made all of this. No. Oh, yes. No. I am its
I think
reaction.
I
Him.
me. He meant me.
No.
Yes.
I mean, it's obvious, is it not?
I definitely didn't, but I'm not going to say that right now.
I don't know which one of us you mean, but I mean, he definitely is not my brother,
No,
and I am
it's a
not
long
my brother
story.
either. I'm just
So
filtered through him, created by him from an aspect that got through. Your little quaint reality here is not grand. I can't make it understandable.
that's what I am trying to do for your other self. It's learning. It's learning this reality. It's understanding reality through myself, through others that it holds dear.
Is that why he's
Is
been
that-
asleep so long? He's trying to understand and chase little fleeting thoughts.
No, he's still asleep. It's just a part of him that is reaching out. Like this. You. Here. You are reaching out through a smaller thing. He is reaching out through a smaller.
Well, how about this? Take me to your friends, and I can try and help you understand whatever it is you want to understand with this little leaf of yours.
Are you able to go far from your cell?
Yes, I was able to get quite far, even wreaked a little havoc. It says with a sort of playful tilt of its head. Did not amount to much, but I needed some peace and quiet to think. And
You unleashed the time contagion.
yes. My influence couldn't push far outside of this block, as it were, but just enough to get the cell open and something interacted with. It was a strenuous effort, but it got me some peace and quiet.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry to keep you
Corvus.
waiting. Yes.
If you would lead on, then.
I most certainly will. If you follow me, the call.
Happy to. And perhaps
can-
let's drop the blur part. It's ever so clunky when it's not written down.
Call.
Yes.
All right.
And you start heading back the way you came.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they follow along, just the singular units, the others left behind.
You know, like, suppose that, like, somewhere in the facility where Telde and Corvus ran off to, that they touched something that they shouldn't have, and that nearly ended the universe, right?
Probably.
It's
Okay.
That's an awfully
Corvus,
specific fear.
yes.
I mean, I didn't touch anything. Or maybe Ellen and Itmore?
I mean,
It seemed like
Ilan
they
and
had-
Imor have not interacted with any facility items.
Okay. Did they ask if we touched anything?
Yes.
Did you tell them we haven't?
Yes.
Good.
have out of character since I did that. Did we ask if the other two dead yet?
Oh yeah, we touched a lot of stuff.
No. I know you did. I don't know if we asked.
You did not miss anything from your side, really.
Yeah, you haven't asked.
Yeah.
Okay. Did Corvus and Telde touch at any facility?
Did they
I don't-
interact with anything dangerous?
They have not interacted with anything under observation by Robota.
Okay. Are Ilan and Imor still in the facility?
Yes.
Do you think we should continue going for the thing, or should we go find Imor and Ilan? I mean, that was pretty freaky.
They may want to know.
Yeah, we should probably go to Imor and Ilan.
Imor and
suggest
Ilan are
doing the
already
same.
aware of the offense.
Where are they?
Imor and Ilan are currently roaming through both sections of facility of high security. Ilan is roaming the facility section you were previously in. Imor is now within this facility section.
Take us to Imor on the way to wherever we were going. See if it's on the path, if we can find a way.
It is not on the path. It would require backtrack.
I'm
Yes,
fairly certain Ilden is capable. I'm fairly certain Ilden is capable of finding us, and more than likely, whatever's happening, having what we were going for is useful.
all right, yeah, let's go for the thing. We'll just go for the item. Okay, let's go for the item. I'm just guess is just looking flustered.
Okay. Alright, so you continue onwards.
I'm gonna pick up the pace a little bit and kind of maybe have everybody else do the same.
Okay.
Mhm.
Alright,
Plop, flip, plop.
you all continue onwards. Telde and Corvus, you will reach the main intersection again where you previously split from the party.
I was going to say, I'm
Mhm.
going to try and fall back slightly and actually sending
Okay.
possible.
Do you want to give me a self check to try and be sneaky about it?
Yeah, sure, I will.
Okay, so you fall back surreptitiously. I can't say that word. And
Surreptitiously?
yes, thank you. And you can do your sending. Okay, Gifton, you will receive that.
Oh, all right. I just got a sending from Telde. I haven't responded to it yet, and I'm saying this aloud to Adriel, Raziel,
Mhm.
Carrick, Shaxan, the whole group. They have encountered a sibling of the Dreamer somewhere in the facility that wants to be released from their cell.
Dadriel actually looks a little perplexed when you say that.
That seems
Is
vaguely dangerous.
sibling of the Dreamer?
And they said maybe best to stay away. Robata, is there anything related to the Dreamer in this facility?
There is a beeping, and then it goes, files not found.
Rabata, is there
Arguably,
any
would they been able to identify something that was related to the Dreamer as such?
is there anything in this facility related to the space beyond that of the gods?
Empty.
Confirmed.
Identify.
There are 5 artifacts related to the Empty housed within this facility.
Are any of them entities?
Confirmed. 1 entity.
What's the entity?
The entity, Craven. This entity was summoned up in cycle 9-9. This entity caused mass destruction and death. This entity was captured and imprisoned.
And what cycle was it imprisoned?
9-9.
99? What were the other items?
Items relating to the empty. 1. A stone artifact found at site of summoning in cycle 9-9. 2. Knife, blackened material, used by a priest in cycle 1-1-5. 3. Inscription found at site of meteorite crash, found in cycle 309. 4. Stone artifact found at site of summoning, creature unable to be captured, destroyed. Artifact taken and kept. Cycle 5. And it stops.
What happens in cycle 5?
Please restate your question.
I think cycle 5 was where they couldn't capture the creature.
Was cycle 5 where a creature could not be captured? And an artifact taken? Related to the dreamer?
Please restate your question for cycle 5.
I think somebody's corrupted some memory banks for you.
Shax is going to sigh, back up a couple steps from the group just so he's not overriding them for what they're trying to do. And he's going to activate the bomb bead to Talday and just simply ask, what cycle is this thing you're following from?
I will actually quite quickly respond. 133.
Shax will calmly nod and look over. Roberta, what information do you have about Cycle 133 and anything captured in it?
Cycle 133. Quiet cycle. Minor artifacts kept in light containment. Do you wish them to be detailed?
Yes.
Okay. It will go through a list of what's, in comparison to most of things in the facility, fairly harmless artifacts, more akin to things like the wolf armor, the dimensional scissors, and so on. Basically things that would be kept in the low security section.
Robota, are there any informations or items that were stored in this facility that the information would be obscured for someone of my access level?
Your access level grants full access to all stored data.
Is there a happenstance of any data or materials that someone with full access would still not have access to?
Only loss of data would cause inability to access data.
Has the system ever lost data?
There is a whirring and a beeping, and then it goes, information not found.
So yes, it has.
How can it know whether it does not know a thing that it used to know?
Robota, is there any place in the facility that Robotas cannot see?
Yes.
Should there be any areas that Robotas cannot see?
Yes.
Explain.
Lavasil's porn room.
Prime holding.
What is Prime holding for?
Unknown.
When was Prime holding made?
Prime holding was made in cycle 1.
Yeah, makes sense.
I'm telling you, I feel like I want a god right now. I want a god to wring their neck and find out what the fuck this is. I'm gonna send my sending back to Telday of be careful, don't touch. something really bad happened a little bit ago, and I don't know what caused it. Because I'm assuming Tilde would have been aware of the world shaking and feeling it was going to end right when they were touching.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tilde, as you receive that sending back from Gifton, you and Corvus are moving up the corridor when you actually hear footsteps coming up behind you.
Corvus will turn and look.
Okay, there is Immor coming up the corridor. And they look to the two of you and go, "You felt that?"
Greetings. I wish to introduce you to our newest associate.
And Roberta turns to Immor and goes, "Greetings, caretaker." And he just sort of looks at you a bit oddly, before looking back towards Corvus and going, "You felt the shaking." You all felt it.
Yes.
Do you know what that is?
Looks at Robata. Vaguely.
Something in here caused it to stir. Have you interacted with anything?
Apologies. Caused what to stir?
Let's not bandy about and pretend we don't know the dreamer.
Ah, affirmative. Allow me to introduce our newest associate.
One of the Robota.
Times like this, facial expressions would be nice.
I wish you were saying that.
I'm definitely not saying that.
I'm waiting for him to do Amir's to the motion for the facial.
And more, you do understand that I am part of that, yes. I was created from that.
I know they can't do that.
What is that, Sammy?
I said, I don't think he do that.
That is not information we had shared.
There is a momentary pause, and you see him look briefly resigned, and his grasp on his scythe shifts.
I'm going to take a step towards Immor. Hands are not up or anything, but they're not at any of my weaponry. Going to head slightly closer to Immor.
He's just watching you.
Like, let's not be hasty and kill the mouthpiece of the dreamer right now. Yeah, I don't think I haven't told Ilan.
At this point, I am facing away. Alright.
Have to be the god of death you did this
Out
with.
of my way, child. Know that there is no malice in my actions.
I apologize. But I cannot let you attack him.
It will
Perhaps
be swift.
if you consulted with our new associate.
Please state your question, caretaker.
Yeah, someone's playing dumb.
Yeah. Once again, wish I had facial expressions, but
Oregon is no longer in possession of that Robata.
Tilde, move aside, please.
there is no way to do a silent Sunday.
tell him that you
Just stop making alarm noises with your mouth. Hope the rest of the party hears.
just tell him. Wait, let's have
Would
it
you
out proper.
permit a moment?
Amor.
A moment, but time is pressing. Say your piece.
I am going to attempt to send the quietest sending.
You can do it with your head.
Yes. I am going to attempt to send.
I'm pretty sure you don't have
Actually-
to verbalize for sending, do you?
You do.
It's
It's a
somatic.
whisper.
It is somatic. You do.
Yep.
It has somatic.
It's not
but you don't-
message.
the thing is, you don't have to say the message, but you have to cast the words for sending.
Yeah. And I'm still going to attempt to do that part
verbal,
and
smart,
everything
and
else.
smart, and material.
Yeah.
So I am going to attempt to do that.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a.
Send this.
I'm sad.
Stealth?
I actually
Yeah.
send it silently.
Actually, 1 second. Too many windows. Okay, those are just rerolls. Yep, let's do it that way. Hey, it's slightly better.
Hey! That's not great.
But,
I think most of you are aware that when you're rolling against the gods, an 18 is not
Yeah.
gonna cut it.
at the same time, I'm sitting here thinking, like, is it worth a reroll?
Yeah,
Because
I mean, frankly, he doesn't look like he's moving against you, even if you're starting to cast. So,
Oh, it's great. Just uses your stealth. Punch the guy.
oh, he
I
looks
am
genuinely sorrowful, by the way, guys.
I am going to attempt. Well, I look very stone-faced, unfortunately.
Okay, I like the message. Is it to Gifton?
Yeah, that's to Gifton.
Okay.
All right. My response is thaumaturgy times 3. What? For the love of feathers and sparkles! Wait 1 goddamn second! I'm coming out that
It was
way.
right. So, Corvus Telday, you will.
Jax is calling me, putting his hands on his ears.
Yeah, I'm gonna say for the people that are actually near
That
Gifton,
goes.
that is deafening. Whatever this place is made from, that resounds in here as if like the sound has nowhere to go but to bounce around in here.
Unfortunately, that is reflex,
Yeah.
and I'm just rushing off in the direction we saw them go. I guess.
Dadriel is going to rush with you. Raziel was actually pausing for a moment and clutching his ears and actually cursing a bit. Telday and Corvus, you hear that coming down into the fucking corridors. Like, it is loud even where you are.
Yep.
And Imor's eyebrow quirks a bit and he looks at you, Telday, and goes, really?
Did you not think he was going to do something like that?
I had hoped to make this quick and undramatic, but he'll just sort of rest the butt of his scythe on the ground as he waits patiently.
This is appreciated.
Kirk's gonna be going after.
Thing is I actually don't even know Corvus is in trouble. I'm just worried because suddenly Amor is there. He doesn't know the call is there. I don't know
Frankly,
what the fuck's going on there.
I'd be alarmed by the fact that Telday is saying he's afraid
Yes,
to do
I'm
something.
Yeah. Yes, there's something wrong. I'm coming.
That is not a word Telday uses often or lightly, I think.
No, he does not. So I am rushing there as quickly as I can. And I am letting the whatever go, and I'm just muttering to myself, Telday scared, Telday scared, Telday scared, Telday scared.
As I'm chasing after Gifton, I'm unslinging my rifle because if she's scared, that means there's a fight coming.
I'm not scared. I'm
You're definitely
so
rattled.
There's a fight coming.
I'm rattled.
I mean, I will point out every time that we've ever had a fight, Tildy's never been scared, so
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't take you long to sort of run back down the corridor.
Yeah.
And when you arrive, you see Telday standing in front of Corvus and a automata, and past Telday is Imor, just sort of casually holding his scythe.
I'm just gonna look around and go, where is it, Zelda?
And Imor's just going to incline his scythe slightly, as if just pointing with the wooden part of the haft, the top of it, towards Corvus.
I told you not to touch anything!
Me to explain. First, allow me to introduce our new associate. Also, Corvus has told more of his origins.
You what?
He is very talkative.
I'm tired of hiding behind every single lie that we all tell each other.
Listen, I've been
Although
under a
technically
big
he's currently
blanket for a
hiding behind
long time. Trust me, I get it. But you do realize every single one of those gods is going to want you dead.
Why?
Because they're scared of that whole earth-shaking thing that just
Exactly.
happened.
They are scared.
Yes.
and so are you.
I'm scared because everything is dictated by them. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of this place. You're looking for things to help us fight the first dragons, yet you are also looking for things that have sentience, that have a ability to understand and to live. Do you not see how cruel and
What do you think I'm looking for them for, Corvus? I want to help and release what we can.
And I want to help.
Get things out too. I don't want you to be another freaking artifact in here.
I am?
No, you're not.
You killed Corvus.
Technically, I killed Corvus.
Well, it was a group effort.
To be fair, you are going to shoot him.
Marcus, take an inspiration.
going
That
to
tickled me.
I was going to want to talk to him, actually, on even terms.
I wanted to talk
Mr.
to him
Gagnon?
too. You son of a bitch. You're my friend too. You're him and he's you, and I did. You know how messed up that shit was. I mean, I don't even know if any of those three of you that died, are they going to heaven? Do they get? Is it one soul? Is it three souls? What the hell is it? But the thing is, you are connected to the dreamer. The gods could hurt you, and I don't want that to happen because it could fuck everything up. Because we know if something happens to you, then everything doesn't get better; it just gets worse.
Zach,
Fighting the urge to just look
So,
back at Imor and go,
why don't
yeah.
I just stay in here? Keep me safe from them,
No.
from you.
Because that is a very stupid idea.
Yeah,
That's a very selfish idea.
You don't mean that.
all of you, ever since we got back. Yeah, I did some rash acts, and I shot at Jane.
I don't hold it
But
against you.
Oh, shut up.
James puts his hands up.
Aw, no finger guns this time.
The moment we got back,
Inappropriate time.
what did you start? You started to do things to hold me back, to make me feel better. Well, what made me feel better was seeing that Corvus actually got to do something. That's all I want. Do something. And don't start with being your friend and healing people. Look at
Eric's
you all.
walking up to Corvus.
Don't, Carrick. You're a fucking dragon.
I'm going to take a step to the side, so I am no longer in between, or at least directly in
I just
between
want-
and more.
Be able to.
I'm stepping out from behind everyone, locking eyes with Corvus, and I am slapping him as hard as I can.
Use shield.
Okay, I will need an attack roll versus AC and shield.
I'm proud
Just
of you.
use my kick for this.
Yeah.
Just to make it easier.
Yeah,
You beat
it's
me
the
to
same roll.
attack roll. Because I was punching him in the fucking face.
Alright, -4.
Why is that? That's
you saw a sharpshooter come in.
sharpshooter on it.
Okay, so 27. What's your AC with shield up, Corvus?
24.
24.
Wait, yeah, 24.
Okay, so amazingly, that fucking hand will go through the magical shield.
Crack. Slap.
And, yeah, slap you across the face.
You fucking little black-eyed idiot!
Ah.
Damn, she beat me to it.
Yeah.
I
I'm an
pushed you
idiot.
through that goddamn portal so you could get away because you're my friend.
What did
I took on 3 fucking angels and faced non-existence because you're my friend. And I look over at Amor real quick. Sorry about that. They swung first. But you throwing a tantrum because you're trying to live vicariously through a guy who had every intention of ending everything that everyone knows simply because he didn't like something that happened? Fuck you! I changed my world. I left everything I knew so I could live my life free of other people dictating what they wanted me to do. You have that choice and you are refusing to take it because you want to live in the fucking past. Now grow up, put your man pants on, use your dick like you haven't.
This is not
You
one of
done?
our better moments.
And Cass is just then flicking off her front, turning around, doing the little hoof kick as if she were kicking dirt at his shoes and trotting back.
Well,
I look over at Amor. He was made by the dreamer so the dreamer could experience the world because the dreamer wants to not hurt the world and wants to understand it.
And what is it learning?
How things exist, how time works.
What I am seeing that it is learning is discontent with this world.
Content or contempt?
Discontent.
It appears to stem from the gods themselves.
And I think you understand why that is a concern. I'm not going to pretend that this
well,
is...
if you stopped resetting everything, then maybe we wouldn't have gone to this.
They've already met different facets of the dreamer in time.
And now that it actually has an opportunity to seek things out, you don't think I'm wanting to help that along? I'm not stuck in the past. Yes, I had an emotional breakdown because I saw myself die. And everything that I wanted died. So where am I at? I am...
A new beginning.
I'm a new beginning, and that's what I'm doing.
All right,
I'm
so-
trying to do something meaningful to something that actually wants meaning.
Gifton's looking over at Telday and whispering the call and holding hands up. Like where?
Why won't you people just get my hint whenever I say
I'm
allow
desperate
me
at
to
it. You didn't-
introduce my new associate?
Yeah, but you said that and then a more pointed at things. I'm looking at you like, where?
Just
I don't know if he's doing us there.
Just give me a point.
Yeah, I'm just gonna shrug in that general direction.
as Telde is super subtly, like I can picture like hands beneath the waist, just flicking the fingers.
Can I figure it out?
Go ahead and give me a no, not you. I want a persuasion from Telde.
Ooh, okay.
He's gonna be good at this.
It's close
What
enough.
are you enrolling shit today?
It's close enough that I'm gonna give it.
I rolled a 6. That's how sad that
No.
is.
Well, Telde is. It seems to be motioning towards the Robata Gifton. Imor is just going to shake his head a little bit, and he reaches his hand out towards Corvus and just goes, "Let me relieve you of your burden. You've suffered enough."
I've suffered because I had ideals that did not work. So I'm trying to fix that. I'm not living in the past, Pia. I'm trying to go forward.
When we talk to the dreamer, that's the dreamer that eventually will be Isidamor. He said that someday Corvus will return to him when he dies. And that he would know what Corvus knows then. And that dreamer had lived many lives as many different people and had many perspectives all across existence here at that point. And he was kind. And I believe that someday he will be a great person. And I am not going to stop treating you like you're alive right now, Corvus, and that you're a person, and that, yeah, maybe you're passing on your goddamn memories to somebody else, and that will, make them somebody else as well. But, us Fae, we die all the time, We die, and then something else walks off, and maybe they remember us, and maybe they don't, but we change. You're going to change someday, and that's what's going to happen to you, okay? And the problem you have right now is you are so caught up in the worth of how you spent your beginning of your life. Yeah, your first however many years taking care of your father. You were a great man for doing that. I remember somebody standing on a boat with me and telling me he remembered who he was and who he was supposed to be, because he's a goddamn doctor and he helps people. And you've been focusing so hard on how you can hurt people and how you can stop things that you don't like, that you've stopped thinking about why you're doing the things you're doing. You're doing them to take care of your family. You're doing them to take care of the little people that get hurt. And if you're just going to get focused on how are you going to destroy this thing, and if you don't destroy it, you're not doing enough, then you're learning the wrong lessons.
I don't want to destroy anything. I want to understand everything so everything works. That's what the dreamer's trying to do, right?
Don't care about the goddamn dreamer. Care about your aspiration. What makes you happy? Don't live your life for somebody that doesn't exist for you yet. Make your own mistakes and have some fun. Spend some time with your goddamn nephew. Go for a dance with Cassie and yell at each other for a little bit. Life is beautiful because it's fleeting. Live it. I'm mourning my friend Corvus Adderlass that died a few days ago, and my friend Corvus Adderlass, because you know what? They were a beautiful person, and I have seen what a beautiful person they can become with their choices. And they walked away from those chances at happiness because they couldn't see in the dark. You are a beautiful ray of sunshine waiting to bust out of those clouds. Just stop focusing on the negative. Stop focusing on what you aren't. focus on what you could do. You look at magic and you see all of its limitations. You see all the things you hate about it. But why not ask what if? Why not try and just be excited for the things that it can do? You look at everything so negatively sometimes.
Because
It's
someone
like
has to.
It's like you want to be unhappy.
I don't want
You don't.
to be unhappy.
You don't want to be unhappy. Did you even check in on Archie's and her kids? She just had babies. You're a doctor.
If I might have a moment to say something.
I'm sorry, Amor. This is very embarrassing.
You're
No, let
concerned.
us see how the lesser half lives.
I see how the lesser half, as you put it, lives and dies far more than any of the others. You want to know everything. You want to understand everything. That is folly, pure and simple. Nothing understands everything. We don't understand everything. You just need to understand enough to bring happiness and purpose into your life. That is all. There's different amounts for different people, but to seek out all things. He just shakes his head a little bit.
Thank you, Amor. See, the god of death gets it.
I will stay my blade. It might be against my better judgment, but, well, we're all trying to figure out how much of our faith we are putting into your endeavors.
I don't know what endeavors that everyone thinks I should be doing. When I try to do something, I'm slapped, yelled at, turned around. Yeah, no, yes, Corvus at last had some bad idea. Look at me. I've embraced whatever magic there is. I wanted to go to Lucian and start learning magic from him, so I could better understand its limits, its uses. I'm trying to do these things. I might not be the most emotional, stable individual, but I'm trying to go forward. And I'm trying to find what my next stage in my life is.
You can't
Yes.
go forward with something just by doing it. If you're going to complain about it every step of the way, hate it, despise it, even as you're doing it, that is not progress. There is something to be said for solemn duty.
Don't want to be a better person, yes. I'm trying to find how that is capable.
Learn to love yourself. I'll tell you that right now. You deserve love, Corvus. I love you. You know why I get so mad at you? Is because I wouldn't be alive. You're my friend. I want my friend back. And I feel like I'm losing you. It's like you're spiraling, and all you see is that you've got to throw yourself away. And I don't want that. You're not all these terrible things you say about yourself. It's not true. As for a man who is so bent up on knowledge and fact, I don't know how you can lie to yourself so severely. You get so upset when other people lie to you, but you lie to yourself every day. You lie much more. I'm gonna start calling you a Miris boy.
There is actually a little snort from Imor. I'm going to go assure my siblings that the stirrings are not something to act on currently. I will leave it in here.
All
You
right.
sort this out amongst yourselves.
Thank you, Amor.
He actually his eyes linger on Corvus for a few moments before he just turns and starts walking away.
So really, just out yourself to Imor, of all people.
So why does it bother to hide when I can't be true to myself? That I am not Corvus Adderley. I am a figment of him, a shadow that was left behind. Yes, no, stop, Gift. Stop. And I'm trying to find out what that means and how I can be separate from that he cast away.
Well, the automata suddenly speaks up. You're all shadows and figments if you think about it in that sense.
Nice to meet you, Call. The Call?
Cool,
That's a
will
weird
do.
name. Whatever.
Why do you think that you are less a thing?
Out of character. Did Amor leave?
Yes.
Yeah, he left.
Yeah, he left.
Yeah.
I believed I was for a long time. But the past few days have saw that maybe that's not true. Maybe I can do better than Corvus. Maybe I can actually live and not be so stuck in his ways. But there are still things that I want to know and understand and help. I want to help those that need it. Yes, that's always been something that I want to do. But it's also helping those that don't know how to help themselves. And that is me.
You say a lot of good things like they're negative.
So we live in a world where good things aren't.
It seems that the world has consistently proven quite the opposite. Far too many times it has looked far worse than it actually ends up being.
What a horrendous dream. Well,
Hey, you live here. You're nice.
I exist here.
Yeah.
So are you like Corvus and part of another, or
I'm... That might be... It might be easiest to say yes.
This sounds very complicated.
roll? Because
Let us pretend that that is the correct assumption.
So, let's actually have a conversation now that at this point in my development of who I'm trying to be, my desires that leave led to this, led to a part of the dreamer, or the dreamer's part of the call. What? I'm still trying to get my head wrapped around
I
it.
mean, one of the many others that we know the dreamer had spoke of.
Yes.
The ones that are not actually the dreamer, but siblings.
Yes, that's how he described it as well. And at that, he wants to get out. So, Gifton, being who you are, would you let part of the dreamer out?
I know
Or
how
part
to
of his
explain it.
sibling?
You have creatures that birthed you.
Yes, we call
Yes.
them parents.
Yeah.
Think of
No.
one of your parents right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can picture them.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Are they saying something to you? you imagine them saying something to you? Can you remember
Yes.
them saying something to you?
Yes.
Are they you in there?
No.
No.
That's me.
Dad?
God,
I thought I
you're-
had an explanation, but apparently not.
So you're
I mean,
Thank
technically
you.
They are you.
No, I'm looking over at Dad.
Intelligent.
so you are a child.
Why is this person in here?
But no, you're fixated on the child thing. No. I
No, they're
love.
the memory of
You're-
someone. They're the memory of somebody that you
You're
can
the
picture,
memory
like
of
you were.
something else.
Yes. You slumber, rest, sleep.
Yes.
If somebody calls to you and you're not fully awake, sometimes they appear in your mind in the dream. Yes.
Yes.
That is not you, though.
So you're kind of like an echo of somebody else
An
out
echo.
there.
Yes.
And this is how the mind would form you, trying to discern what you were, because
Yes.
it wasn't awake.
Yes.
Kirk's gonna do something probably stupid.
Okay, so you sound like a
In fact,
good
echo.
person.
I like that one. Can we use that one?
Do you want to be echo instead of call?
A call does not roll off the tongue well.
Kirk's reaching.
We have a lot of C names, so I'm kind of on board with echo.
As I'm noticing.
Yes.
Pulling out a glass dragon. And not casting any spells.
That's
Just looking at it through.
pretty.
Can we avoid doing any earth shaking? Is all I ask.
I'm not going to use any magic. I'm just curious with this close if anything.
Also,
would
I
be-
thought we had an understanding. And the automaton's actually looking at you, Telday.
I
What
do
is-
believe you misunderstood.
What is the
Clearly.
understanding?
That I should not be outed.
Oh, he outed you.
Up to you, that is expected. I was coming to meet you. I wanted to meet you, but one of my jailers, that's just rude.
Hey.
So. I'm guessing just looking through it without any magic, nothing happens through the Oculus.
Oh no, nothing.
Okay, that's right. I figured, but I figured with this close, maybe. Putting it back away. What did they jail you for? Well, I mean, besides the obvious of.
Well, less they than him, but, it's their jail cell, so... existing...
My jail cell.
I mean, is my existence a crime?
From what we
Did
can.
you cause the Earth, the entirety of reality, to kind of rumble a little bit ago?
Cause and effect. Is it my...
you do that
I just...
Before, when they
a
put you in here.
few
before you went.
times.
That might be why.
It wouldn't, in fact, be that you might do that sort of thing as an inclination of towards being an echo of somebody trying to wake somebody else up that could unseat our own reality and cause the end of us all, that might make them scared and lock you up.
Are you scared to wake somebody that's slumbering up because you're going to spoil their dream?
Yes.
I would feel bad about that, actually.
You'd
Yes,
still
I have
do
a
it
wife.
if they were oversleeping. No?
If I am living in that dream, absolutely.
I have a wife.
There's
I
a
have
sort of
bird
momentary
marks.
raising their hands as it's sort of exacerbated by this.
I mean, it's the worst part.
I mean, I guess in your perception, we're not actually real people, so it doesn't really matter what happens to us, right?
Yes. I mean, you're all quite lovely, and no offense intended. But it doesn't matter.
It matters to us.
Well, yes, but you're not real.
How do you affirm that you are any realer?
Oh, I'm not.
Do you think there's
So
a way
you
we
do
could
not
become
matter.
real?
No, it doesn't matter at all. What's become real? What?
Is there a way that we could become real so that way we don't disappear?
Yes, easily.
How?
He'd have to want it. Will it? Make it so. Worlds and stars shift and stir at our wake. It's just existing. Not hard.
Are they, in fact, real?
Yes. Oh, although I suppose we have had our own little talks, those little scares of what if we are a dream of something even greater, but, oh, that's nonsense, obviously.
I have a
Why?
question for you.
One at a time. Why? Well, we just know, but I suppose you know. But, well, there's something bigger telling you that that's not true, so I suppose if something told us that it's not true and it was greater than us, we'd have to listen. But, what was that the handsome fellow said?
Would you be more willing to stay your hand on it if we told you that the Dreamer is in the process of apparently trying to figure out a way it can both wake and not make us cease?
Yes, but you see, it's my nature.
So your predisposition to do it as a result of what you were basically created from and for is you need to seek out and wake the dreamer.
Yes.
Is there another one whose job is to keep the dreamer asleep?
I suppose his own will.
Mm-mm.
Or maybe that's what he dreamt you all up for.
Wonder what the other four.
Huh?
Oh, remember we were told there were 6, I believe, total, including the dreamer. If I remember correctly.
I don't remember having a number.
What are you asking about?
I
just-
think he's trying to postulate how many creatures there are like the dreamer and yourself.
Yeah.
There are 6 of
Well,
us.
your true self. There are 6 of you? Okay.
God.
Good.
Just from other things we have learned, and you may not know this because of it, are the first dragons kind of from the same area, tied to the same area you all are?
Oh, those little pluckings.
Yes.
In a way, yes. It's quite amazing, really. That's, although I suppose not so amazing when you think about what she is supposed to be. That little god thing that looks so much like us was able to reach out and pluck
What,
from
what's she
our
supposed
space.
to be?
So she's like us. Not quite as grand, but you know, the features are there. The shapes.
Are those, as you call them, the little pluckings, touch each of you 6?
I don't know. I never felt it. At least I don't remember feeling it. I don't know if that information came with me. But I suppose I wouldn't be surprised if Brother's missing of us influenced her and influenced them.
So the dreamer might miss the...
I would think so. I miss him.
That would explain why trying to keep what he has here and be able to interact with their siblings.
I know my other siblings aren't quite so concerned. It's only been a short slumber, but I miss him.
Has this happened before?
Yes. Not quite so long. Everyone takes a little sleep.
Even yourself?
Of course.
So I'm guessing each of you is supposed to watch out for one of the others when they do.
Not really. I mean, what is there to watch out for?
I mean, to awaken them.
We wake eventually on our own, but it's just been a little long. It can get awfully lonely out there. And we drift further and further from each other.
So you do not remember anything making you? You just began? So just like... just were there?
You mean, like, you started?
Like as a greater being, the
Yes.
thing that you originate from. I'm assuming not as your
The thing
semblance
you're
in
an
this
echo
reality.
of. Yes, the thing you're an echo of.
Me?
Yes.
Do I remember first coming into being here?
No, the creature that you are an echo from. Would it have any memory of its coming into existence?
I don't understand.
Was there ever? I guess that they would have always been.
Always been, I guess, but it may be the same issue the dreamer had with startings and endings, and I don't know.
We are.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of a very confusing concept with time and all that stuff.
But it also makes it difficult to, if something was a starting point, to think of it as such, I guess, too.
And Corvus, I have no intention of allowing anything that can be freed from here to not be freed. If we can ensure that it doesn't cause the freaking end of the world.
Maybe one reason I'm worried about the egg. I'll be honest.
We are already looking at possibly bringing the egg out so it can grow up.
Although that's what I'm worried about, is it growing up, possibly an end of world. If we believe it's safe.
Well, the automata sort of slaps its thighs, which makes an unpleasant noise as it's before it actually just sort of sits down against the wall here and looks at the group of you, but sort of lingers its gaze on Corvus a bit and goes, "Why don't you think about what you really want to know from Auntie Echo? And I will answer the best I can as a show of friendship. And I'm not well, that would be a lie, and I'm not a liar. I do want to wake my brother up, but you say that you're sort of working for that, no?"
I don't want to keep them asleep forever. No.
Well, I want
Someone get her meatloaf.
I want to wake him up, but I'm not adverse to you all cementing your existence first.
I mean, if we can work that out, that would be best. I think for all parties involved, it would make it so there's less fear.
I'm sure it would make him happy. I mean, you're seeking it, so it must be part of his will.
And it has a side effect to your hole.
My hole?
You say it's lonely out there, and if we're cemented in existence, that means there's more of us to talk to.
That is sweet.
I don't know if we're it's sort of probably like watching an anthill for them, right?
Don't worry, we're not cruel beings.
That is what I have at least gotten from my dealings with the dreamer.
I'm going to take a moment real quick and go out of character. That was a very Emmett Selk sounding statement there.
Everything about this thing is very Amazon.
Square Enix, don't sue us.
Fuck Square Enix, says the great Yoko Otaro says.
I'm gonna a slow sigh and turn over to Robata, the one we brought with us.
They stole my story, I still their story.
That one.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna go. It seems that we are having an adjournment here. Is it possible for the items that I requested to be fetched?
Low security items can be fetched.
All right, fetch the low security items. Thank you.
And
Yeah, well, those security items. There is a set of scissors, a set of shears on the bottom level that we want to use. They have to
Please
cleave
explain.
between realms. They have to cleave between planes.
Please fetch the shears as well. For some sort of
confirmed.
travel.
Is this unit
Thank
to
you.
refer that you wish this unit to depart?
No. Please only relay to other units.
Confirmed.
And I'll look over at the group and go, I can't think of any grand questions. It's your Leaf Corvus. You had questions for them.
I want to know, be able to understand what you are, what I see every second of every day from these eyes that came from one of
Go
yours,
over and give
your
Corvus a hug
realms.
while he's having his monologue.
Okay. You hug Corvus. And,
He kind of leans like, okay, fine.
well, those are not really one of ours, but yes, they do come from where we come from. In fact, I think it's proving a little inconvenience. Every time one of us slumbers, it creates a whole nother space for them to have to move from, and they get so lost.
The dreamer wants to be able to understand this reality, to see what it holds, why we consider it so dear. That's what I am wanting to do.
It's amazing how the people that you want to talk to and ask these questions to are usually the people that are the farthest disconnected from it.
Yes,
I say
that's
with a little bit of a laugh.
not really my field. I mean, I'm as clueless as he. Your question would be better asked to, and a gesture towards your companions. If he wants to understand why this place is, well, worth it, I suppose, then...
But to understand what it would want to understand, I need to understand what you are.
Well, I don't think that's really possible.
I actually think that actually would remove you from understanding us at all. Because if you understand us, you won't, or understand them, you won't understand us.
We are reality. We are made from it. We move through it. We will it. We are it. The stars and the cosmos moves around us at our whim. We swim through light. We bend it. The very fabric of what is ours to dive into and through. Our thoughts are many, countless. We create to have beauty around us, and we revel in being. Does that help?
Corvus's shoulders slump and his eyes close.
I guess that doesn't help. Well,
It's like you're asking a fish what it's like to be a deer.
maybe something I can help with. You mentioned the things that you're seeing.
Yes.
What are you seeing?
Like the cats.
He describes them best he can.
Sounds like a nightmare to me. Dark things lurking where they can't be seen, not by most. And this automata does a little sort of shudder, like it's got the heebie-jeebies. If you come closer though and let me look, maybe I can tell you more.
That may be inadvisable.
But I'm not going to do anything untoward.
Not intentionally so.
Well, how about then?
Corvus looks to Gifton.
Ifton looks at Corvus.
Roboto is turning its head side to side, looking at you both, looking at each other.
What is it, Corvus?
I don't know. I want to do this.
I swear to make no attempt to wake up my sibling. Not through this act. That's the scary thing, isn't it?
Yeah. But Gifted frowned for a minute. If it happens, we made the best of it. Nice smile at Corvus. You'd remember us, right?
Me? Him?
I shake my head at the automaton. I'm looking at Corvus.
Of course I will. He looks up.
They actually pat their lap.
Enjoy the metal seat.
Tonk tonk.
Corvus steps forward.
Mm-hmm. They reach a hand up to you as if to help guide you down.
He takes it.
And she's going to sort of gently pull you down into her lap.
Hmm.
This automaton's arms just sort of drape around you very gently, being careful not to actually put weight on you. And they sort of lean their head back against the stonework and goes, "Don't fear. I am made from desire and love to see someone I care about again. That means I'm nice. Let's see where these lead to. I mean, I can feel him, not far, of course. Such easy reach and so tempting, but I said I wouldn't. Your eyes? There's where the Azoth travels. There's where it can go to in and out. Where do you call the place you go when you see him?
This is empty.
The empty. The Azoth travels through the empty. I think you've seen that, haven't you?
Yes.
And the Azoth can perceive what's hidden there, reflected, and the surface you touch on. It's just a film, easy to pierce. I think you've seen it do that as well, haven't you?
Yes.
Think of it like a skin over layers. This world is a layer, yes? The one we're in now. And this place we're in now is like a bubble layer. But even over that, there is a film. And their seat. That's where they're putting the defined things that perish. And just over that, the empty. And beyond that, where I'm from. But the empty and the place where these defined creatures go, they're close. Such a thin, easy to move through film, not like the others. But it's almost like that place is overlaid here. That's why you can see them. Like a hidden little place. Like a... one of you, I can see, you build things out of wood. It's you.
Yeah.
Have you ever crafted a chest or drawers that look like they have a flat bottom, but beneath that there's just a little space?
Of course.
It's part of the whole, but you can't see it.
Yeah, it's the false bottom.
You're seeing through that, Corvus, but from the outside of the drawer, or the outside of the chest, this world, you are seeing through the sides.
He's seeing outside the box.
Inside the box from the outside. Or the other way round, it doesn't really matter. Just think of it like that little force compartment seeps through here. And the Azovs, they are plane breachers in their very nature. That's no problem for them. I imagine it's very disorientating. And I can't
Really.
imagine that Force Bottom holds those things very well. The stronger ones have to manage to make their way out now and then. Now, it's hard for me to fathom what I need to tell you. So you must ask questions if you want to know.
I have questions, but this is Corvus's moment.
Now, with his permission, you could ask. It may inform him.
Problem is that what they've all said is true. I don't understand why.
Why what?
This is what it is. It's why we all do the things that we do and have to be dictated those things and follow certain rules. Yes, I want to know a lot, but I don't.
What makes you think there is a why?
Somebody said something, somebody else thought it was good, and they went along with it. And purpose becomes derivative of decisions that were made.
Sometimes willingly, sometimes not. A greater being can enforce its will on a lower, or sometimes a group of beings will just agree that this is the way. I mean, rules don't have to be followed. The repercussions of not doing so might be terrible, but the choice is there.
Clifton's looking genuinely sad right now.
Take it from a being that knows very well that there is little meaning in life. We make our meaning. We make our joy. The universe delivers nothing to us. We make. There is joy in purposeless, just nothing.
There's joy in seeking purpose.
But you are still seeking it, making what you find your own.
Yep.
Embrace the freedom that comes with meaningless. After all, you rail against the gods, upset that they control. But if you are seeking a greater why, then that is what you seek. A contradiction. If you do not want to be
if
controlled,
the-
don't seek something to control you.
The automata can feel, given its
Mhm.
echo-esque physicality. Corvus pumps and is depressed within the hold. It's just like folds in on himself. He's no longer stiff or rigid.
Here I have not given you the answer you want, but I can only speak the truth that I know.
Corvus positions his hands and pushes up.
Hey, there you
That's
go.
the- Do any of you have any questions for it? Because
Yes.
we have... Go.
How do we get into that false bottom where the things divine go?
The automata sort of tilts its head a little bit, not like the other ones, not this processing, but a very natural, pondering look. Well, I don't know how you would do it, but
Been there, been back, don't want to go back, but there are others who need to get out of there.
I'd ask my brother to open it up, or perhaps the tricky little one that imprisoned me. It's not my realm, you see. I didn't make it.
Oh. Well, still, I was hoping that you might have insights into it. But if you don't, you don't, and there's no fault in that.
You could ask an Azoth. I've never travelled with one myself. They're flighty creatures. Nice enough, but they do like to go about. They can lead.
How can you appeal to...
Appeal?
I believe he means communicate or contact one.
Not sure that your flappies can do it.
Flappies?
Your lips, your little bits of flesh that make sound.
Mouths are communication verbal.
Yes. So fun.
Oh, Dingus speaks with mind thoughts.
Yes, that would work. Mental communication is your best bet. They don't use your language, so, emotion, concept.
So exactly like how
Yeah.
they do.
I could turn you into a pseudo dragon, Corvus. You can communicate that way.
Straight up.
Or,
Corvus.
if you let me out, I'd be happy to do it for you. Not to sound like something that's trying to pressure you, but I am a little bit, admittedly. I'm very open about my motives, though. You know exactly what I want. And you know that I am willing to help and wait for a while. And I think you'll find that my world is a lot longer than yours.
That is probably for the best for us.
What are you in that room?
I would appear to you like something scary, I'm afraid.
Are you a being in that room or an object?
I am like coalesced shadow. My concept has lost its physicality over time, and it's just the latent thought of form that's floating around in there now.
Robota, identify what is in that room. I'm gesturing at the room.
You are not near.
Oh, we're not?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, we
Okay,
We
never
walked
mind.
away.
too far
Never
away.
mind. Ignore that I said that then.
Okay.
Well, the Robota did say it didn't find anything from the year we were told.
Yeah.
Well,
You are doing something to make it so they can't tell, aren't you?
me?
To their records or whatever it is.
No, didn't touch their records. I just took control of a few of their units and shut out the others. I can't seem to access these ones anymore, and they just sort of gesture at the robot accompanying you. Did you do something to them?
I'm just gonna squint for a minute at this Robota.
I can't do that in return.
How long ago did you lose the ability to?
Today.
Corvus, how certain are you that this person is the manifestation that they claim to be? I mean, the world rumbling was pretty on point, but...
I mean, in a way, I suppose I'm not. I'm the little bit that managed to seep out into these.
So is that the manifestation in this reality of the whole?
What's in the cell?
In that room? Yes.
Yes. At least the tangible parts. But the intangible is there with it. You know, it's just... And there's sort of a vague arm gesturing.
They're around the dreamer. And
It's larger than what is here. But my only point of interaction is there. I will be very frank. The dream here, it's very vexing.
Did you enter originally here through the act of another? Like into this dream, our reality?
I mean, only if you define the other as my greater self that sent the call.
Okay, so no one in this reality summoned you.
No.
They manifested as a result of application of interaction. In
Yes.
the real sense.
I suppose you could
crossing
say
the
that the dreamer
thing.
manifested me.
Yeah.
The dreamer misses their siblings also, I guess. Is what I'm guessing is why you are here.
I would
And
hope
you're-
so.
And they miss you enough to lock you up in a cell. I smile.
Yes.
I mean,
you are a
kind
very
of-
free-thinking dream.
yes, I was just say I don't know if that's directly Their sibling that did that.
This
I
is
think
the
we have a
problem with
little-
this simile I'm using. Dream is a very strong word in your minds.
Well, it's borrowing concepts that
Yes.
are more readily available.
It's like trying to just show a star system with a single dot of paint.
It's very far away.
As is the concept, yes.
I have some things I need to do, and it's very clear I'm not needed here. I'm going to
Well, which one of you is the key holder?
There's that point.
Why do you need a key holder?
To open my cell.
Ah,
Sorry, have I been unclear on this part? I'm a prisoner here.
I thought I was very clear on the fact that I'm very opening to helping you, but I needed to find out a way to solidify existence first.
Ah, so you want me to wait?
I wasn't actually certain you were asking me, but yes, that would be the concept there.
Well, I mean, I am willing to wait. I have said so much. But there is the willingness to wait when you have freedom and know that you can act if enough time passes. And then there is being asked to wait in a prison that you may never be let out of.
Would you just being out of there risk waking the dreamer?
Not unless I start hollering for him.
And you would be willing to wait
Of course.
on our behalf?
They seem honest.
And who put you in there?
Miris.
I mean, sorry.
Huh.
So that's not much.
You look over at Raz.
It adds up.
Was Miris the only one that knew of what you are?
Prayers make it out of here?
Which question am I answering first?
You
I'm not
can answer
asking you.
so you can answer hers first.
I'm not asking.
I mean, they might know as well as anyone
I'm
else.
looking at. My questions get directed towards the angels. Not,
I will
not
say-
the metaphysical being that I don't understand.
I will say, as I observed the gods, I got a very good grasp of their power, and that was not a solo god's power that imprisoned me. But I can't say who was assisting him.
I have a wild guess on who the other one was. It might have been the keeper of the facility at the time.
That would stand to reason.
Yeah.
She was very nice.
Was she? Did she come visit you?
Yes.
Did she make any wild promises I should know about?
No. Just apologies.
She does a lot of that.
It's quite useless in the end.
Yeah, you know.
Plus,
life
it was
goal.
Canadian. Got it.
Life goal.
Try those-
I'm sorry. She was
Tim
your mother?
Never knew her.
You feel a lot like her.
In a roundabout way, I guess.
Did
Well-
any of the other gods come to
I'm gonna hit
visit?
up a prayer really quick.
No.
See if it reaches out.
Who are you praying to?
Miris.
Okay. What are you praying?
Oh, great.
Hey, Miris, great god of mischief and delightful concepts. You probably would like to know that I'm going to fling open the doors to the call if you don't say anything. Bye.
Mm.
I was really hoping you'd have, like, right after the praising Mira's part, be like, you fucking dick.
Gifton,
There's a little bit of that tone there.
Gifton.
Yeah.
I would like a persuasion check.
Fwing. That's actually pretty good for me.
I mean, that's pretty good for you.
I know, but if it helps, I mean it.
I have a question. Would a plus 8 make that more likely?
I have a question. Are you going to put a +8 on that?
Sure.
You know what? I will throw a wheel and a woe at it.
Oh, wait.
I would bardic, but I'm not sure how the hell I can justify that.
Oh, never mind.
Oh fuck! Yeah, hell yeah.
I can't
Still,
help that.
it's still not good enough. It's fucking Miris, guys.
All right, so that would be a 34.
Yeah, it's still not good enough.
With a 34, you say your prayer. The call or echo is starting to sort of stand up. When suddenly there is a rumbling that goes through the facility, not like the dreamer being woken, but a far more physical rumbling.
Is it like somebody
Or just
running
kicked
really
in the
fast that happens to be a god?
And then the other automata near you seems to stiffen, and the lights in the ceiling go pure red and start flashing. And the automata goes, "Alert! Facility breach. Please evacuate."
Oh god, he just straight freaking Kool-Aid the wall.
I think I scared him. I think I might have scared him.
I lost my key that was lawless, so I guess I'm gonna have to just go through the fucking window.
And
Which way
I mean,
was
just
it
go
in your
right
door
from you.
exactly? I say to the automata that's being inhabited, start walking that way.
she points down the corridor, and as she
let's
starts to
walk
follow
down.
Gifton, she actually turns her gaze over to you, Corvus, and goes, "Well, you asked about that film being pierced, and here we are." Excuse me while I open up a book.
Uh-oh.
Better a book than a sheet, 'cause I don't want to fight a god right now.
Miris's response would be to throw a whole bunch of nasty shit into the facility to distract us.
Or just burn it to the fucking ground with them.
Yeah.
Right,
It's fine, we got in this decanters of water.
you make your way through the corridors, the alarms going off, and as you start to tell Dane Corvus know vaguely the direction, as you start to near Cole's cell, there is something coming around the corner, a sort of formless congealment of flesh and darkness that leeches around these long arm-like appendages, pulling a hulking mass that seems to be bigger than the corridor itself. There is a sickening sight of warpage.
Is that the you?
No, that's one of those things he was asking about.
The nightmares, the things that came through the empty. When we ran that one time.
Oh, neat.
And it starts to sort of eke its way towards you. It seems to be struggling to actually move through the corridors, as if the sort of stretching of the space around it to make way for its form is taxing.
Time to go.
No?
Oh, this is my facility.
Well, I have little desire to come in contact with that, so if you want to start doing your adventuring things towards it. Okay.
You want us to fight it in order to protect you.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, banishment. Okay, good choice. Charisma saving throw. 1 second.
I hope it is banning Shad.
My brain parsed as a completely different word, and I went, "Why are we doing?
Okay.
Why ginger?"
Corvus, describe your action.
He just thinks, and he's about to push with his hand, like he's going to push into the empty.
Mhm.
Just go away.
Okay, and as you raise your hand up towards it, there is a resounding pop, and space seems to wobble briefly as the thing is banished.
Well, that
Oh,
worked.
problem solved. I think.
Thing is, I have to concentrate now to keep it away.
Okay.
Alright, nobody stab Corvus
Not
right
the
now.
only one here as well, so perhaps we hurry.
Alright.
Theoretically, is it native to this plane of existence? Or would it be from different?
Different.
So if
Out of
he
character,
were in
it's
fact to
gone,
let
then.
you out, deal's
It's
still
gone.
on?
Yeah,
You're not gonna go wakey
I just
wakey
read
right
that.
now?
You're welcome.
Me? Wakey wakey? No.
You're gonna be good?
Said I would.
Alright, swear it 9 times.
Really?
It's become a thing with her.
I'm
Uh,
Faye.
I won't wake him up. I won't wake him up. I won't wake him up. All the while walking along. I won't wake him up. I won't wake him up. And they are physically holding up their fingers as doing that. I won't wake
I'll
him up.
definitely wake him up.
I won't wake him up. I won't wake him up. I won't wake him up. And they hold up 9 fingers.
I nod.
You realise that does not mean anything.
What? You
I
gave me
think it
your
was
word
both.
9 times. You mean it now, right?
I mean, I meant it the first time. And each subsequent time. But does the... simple creatures must be understanding.
It's power in this reality to hold you to that word now.
Well, technically, it's not
will-
this reality; it's some other weird reality. But you know,
Yeah, it's mostly a thing of just giving them a bit of peace of mind.
Well, I am pleased to grant peace of mind.
Can we hasten this?
Can you tell how many more are in the facility?
Yes, can't you feel them?
no.
Can I see
I'm
them?
going to focus and see if I can.
Corvus, you're trying to see them, and unfortunately, you can't actually see through walls.
Yeah.
However, you are starting to notice it's not full apparitions, but you know those little sights of eyes in the corners and so on? They're sort of
they're-
starting to phase in.
More prominent.
Mm-hmm.
Ilan!
And, Blackheart, go ahead, give me a perception with your draconic bullshit.
See with your special eyes.
Perception check. 30.
You definitely sense some things off in the distance. And you're calling for Ilan, and Cole is just sort of pointing off in vague directions, going, one of those over there, one of the larger ones trying to like merge itself in over there, not doing very well. I think that's what the crashing was. A couple of the small polypy things back there. We should be good. You're calling for...
Carrick. Sorry.
You are calling for Ilan, and you are actually he's not actually far off. He started running the moment there was a crash and sirens. Appearing from behind you guys, because he's following you down, is not the Ilan from you're used to. There is a large stag crashing down the corridors at a full run. It's got these long, sort of silvery horns with vines and leaves like twirling around them.
That is the most beautiful thing I've seen in my life.
Corvus will just whip around, and his gesture is going back to the same position.
Yeah, go ahead, banish the fucking god.
No, he's just starting to move that way.
Yeah, its fur is a sort of well, very, very subtle green that seems to trail into leaves towards its hindquarters. Yeah, it's a strange
Gifted, that better be
leafy stag.
Ellen.
And as
It's not. It's the most beautiful thing I've seen in my life.
Is it Ellen?
when you shout, "Is it Ilan?" Halfway down the corridor, it suddenly changes. There's no like long process of morphing or such. Just one moment, it was a stag. The next moment, no whoop even. Just the very next moment, it leaves an almost after image in your eyes. There stands the man Ilan that you're familiar with.
And Corvus.
Or Millet, as he will now be known.
I have a feeling anything that isn't warping like that previous one is probably on our side at this point.
It is
be an
dangerous here,
Interesting.
Gifton.
Yeah, it definitely is. I just want to make sure you're safe.
I am
let's do
safe,
this quick.
but it is not safe. Why are you heading deeper in?
I promised I'd open a door.
And there is a very feral growl that escapes his sort of throat as he actually just moves alongside you.
Is there gonna turn towards our little automaton and is there any weaknesses or resistances that we should know about these things?
Let's talk more walk.
I assume you're
going.
I assume you're moving as this is being
Yeah.
said. And
If Corvus sees any of them, he's just casting banishment. He's understanding what these are now.
Are you waiting your minutes so they don't come back?
If they're from a different plane.
If they're from a different plane, they just pop. And they're all from a different plane.
Yeah, but if the target spells, they return.
Resistances, most things from your reality. Then, well, that banishment trick is a very nice one. I recommend that wholeheartedly. Other things unlikely to phase them. No, bending them to your will, scaring them with this, making them unable to move.
You saying those things at work?
They won't work, no.
That's good, because I don't do those.
Marvelous.
My usual...
Light and fire, I would recommend.
It just puts things to really heavy sleep.
I'm guessing then acid should not be.
I just make things sleep a lot.
They don't like the things that they used to be.
Used to be.
Shax is calmly as they're walking, he pulls out the shotgun of certain death and just starts loading with fire element rounds.
Yes, I told you that that's where the divine things go.
So fire and light have the tie to the divine. I understand now.
Wait. Then that thing was like a dead angel?
Mm-hmm. Or not like you'd say one of your souls is a dead person. It's still you. That's more like taking of its essence and nick.
It's a corruption
It's its power, coalesce.
of its power. So the being is
Your
not
boy
there.
here doesn't have that anymore. Well, most of it. That's probably gone there. And she's actually sort of gesturing at Raz. What's left in him is festering in the same way. That's unnerving to hear.
So that's what turns you into a demon. Is the festering of that connection to your divinity going into that space.
Yes.
Like a vacuum pulling it.
Then the things that you were asking about Gifton of severing that divinity, if that's what you want for Raz, you might want to find some things like that.
Who knows what something like that is?
That's what I was working on while you were gone.
As you're speaking, you turn a corner and you come into the hallway where the four other automata are just standing inert. Further down,
Okay.
you can hear a cracking of stonework.
Where's that door at?
This one, right here.
Fine. All right, let's get it.
What
go.
are we letting out? Ilan suddenly says.
Something called the call.
I'm not
I
familiar
believe
with
it
it.
has chosen to go with Echo now.
Yes, it's going
Well-
by Echo now.
Well, this
A sentient
variation
thing
of
from
it.
here.
Yep.
Yes.
There is that silence that just says, "I really hope you know what you're doing."
One that has agreed to not harm us and, well, the world.
We're
I mean,
used
why-
to that silence.
Lying really is a thing, but whatevs.
I trust your judgment.
I'm glad somebody
Somebody-
does.
Oh.
Off character.
Ow.
That's 100%
Ow,
out
you
of
strangled the life out of me. I'll say
Oh,
out of
well,
char-
that's
out of
convenient.
character. Oh, yeah. Now I'll hit the door.
Okay. Alright, you place your hand against the door, and that little red circle appears beneath your hand, and then there's that little swirl as a white forms around it, and suddenly the door starts to form like a crack in the stone, very, very thin. Just peels around from the floor, up, turns, goes across, then back down to the floor, and then the stone just starts to recess, shift back into the wall. And it takes a little bit of time. This is meters thick. And all the while you can hear strange, unearthly noises in the facility coming down the corridors. More crashes. And as the stone finally sinks all the way in and then starts to move to the side.
I'm basically going to aside to Ilan while this is going on. This is a creature that Miras hid away in here without anyone's knowledge. It didn't exist on any of the records for the Robata test.
What is the call? It then asks, and the Robota just goes, "Information not found."
Oh, I thought we only had the one left.
Yeah, we had the two. We had the one I've been drinking with us.
Okay, I didn't know it came with us.
Yeah.
It's following you guys.
Robata, what is in this room?
This room does not exist.
So you see why I'm letting it out?
It is just grimacing. And
Also,
yeah.
I may have lightly pitched to Miras that I was doing this, and all these things came in all of a sudden. Kind of feels
You're saying
like he
he
doesn't like
is
it.
endangering you.
Maybe.
That's exactly what she is saying. She called to him, and he released these things. He made the veil break.
There is a growl from Ilan that basically sounds like the primordial growl. This is the thing that is embedded in humans to be frightening. And there's just a clenching of fists that suddenly seem to be a lot sharper tipped. Nails like claws. And as the slightest crack opens in that door, suddenly, coalesced shadow starts to pour out. And it moves up around the automata that Echo is inhabiting and starts to seep into it, sort of forming over and into it. The whole automata shuddering as there's definitely like a whole lot of this substance compressing into this form until finally it's all fully exited the room and seeps in, and the automata is left standing there. A few more shudders before its shoulders seem to relax a bit and goes, "A more appropriate form can wait for later."
Right. Keep the agreement.
Of course, I gave my word 9 times at that.
Mm-hmm. Alright, we should get out of here.
Okay. Right.
Did the items ever get to us, by the way?
Not
they
yet.
Didn't.
Okay.
I didn't get any of the items. We did this instead.
Right. You all start heading back out.
How far are the items?
The items are in central corridor.
All that were requested. Even the high clearance ones.
The high clearance.
The high
ones were
clearance
not
items were
accessible.
not accessible by Robota.
Where's the closest one?
Carvis. It's not worth the risk.
No, this is why we came here.
We can go.
I would like perception checks from everybody, please. Active ones, your passives do not count.
Oh, perception. Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought you said deception. I was really confused.
I actually rolled well for a change. It's
Hey, look at that.
Hey!
Well,
insignificant
God,
compared to the
double
majority of the
digits.
party.
Twen-
But I rolled well
Twen-
for me.
20 and above. I would now like insight checks. Anyone that's rolled a 30 or above can have advantage.
I already have a van.
That's a shame.
Yep.
Oh,
Jeez.
Okay. Corvus, Carrick,
I have
and Telday.
I don't think I can flash a change for one I'm not rightfully aware of.
Everyone that succeeded on the perception, even the base one, you realise those sounds don't actually sound like they're encroaching. And those that rolled, basically Carrick, Corvus, and Telday, rolled on your insights, they're not approaching. Like, they're making a ruckus. But that is it. The one that you
He's
saw
scaring
was the
us.
only one that was moving slowly.
That one's. I think the others are. Yes, I believe Corvus is correct. This might just be to scare us. They are not approaching.
So there's a feint.
It says games.
If you
all it is
really
for him.
wish, I will go retrieve one of the items separately. I can keep in contact apart and inform you.
You need Gifton or Dadriel to open these doors.
No, I need permission from Gifton in order to open the doors.
I don't want you going
Look to-
alone.
I'll go with him.
I'll go with him.
No, I'm going with him. Dadriel, get the rest of them out.
No,
Nope.
I was going to suggest that others go for another object.
Fine, Dadriel goes with you, and I'll take the others to the other one.
I'll go with them if Eden stays with you.
Sounds fair? Ellen, you want to stay with me for a bit? Smile?
I would not leave your side.
Do we think this place is lost, Gifton?
No.
Okay.
Still
refuse
got
to
Gifton
believe
right
that.
there.
You did want the other item at one point, but we have a while before we can use that.
I have no idea what you're inserting right now. It's feat of the moment. We're getting the items for the first dragon. Everything that was in the lower security is already waiting for us at the front. We're going to get the high-end items, and then we're out.
The stasis thing is what I was speaking of.
Oh, the egg?
Yes. But
We won't abandon the baby. It'll be fine. We'll get it. It'll come back for it. If we get it out now, it'll hatch early.
yes, and that's what I mean. That's why I was asking if you thought it was lost. That is.
I
How
promise
many
you
items?
we will
No,
come back
no.
for the baby.
How many items are there that we need to obtain now?
2.
All right, which do you want?
Go get the ammunition, the bolts that will destroy, kill, whatever. That one. Get that one.
I realize there is one additional issue.
Hmm?
We only have one guide.
I've got Ellen. You take Robata.
We need your permissions in Grand.
Yes, Dadriel's going with you. Good luck.
Dadriel will sort of motion to be followed and starts running through the corridors. And Eden will sort of look to your lead, Gifton.
All right, I will start the lead. down the way.
Okay. So the group splits up. A group with Dad and the automata. You can easily find your way to the item. Ilan is not well versed in the facility storage.
Yep, I'm hoping we'll find a Robotata on the way.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a what is the role in this system?
Theoretically, have me and Carrick noticed that there would be anything for like rhyme or reason for how these things are stored in
There's no fucking rhyme or reason.
Okay.
And also the problem is you guys can't read. Well, Carrick can read, but you can't read.
I can too.
Oh, you can? Okay.
Yeah, Carrick taught me a Nokia.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot. You're not in the group of people that couldn't.
Pathfinding is survival.
Yeah, that's wacky, but we'll use it.
It's that or investigation, really.
Investigation. That's actually what we're going to use. Anyone in Gifton's group, you are free to roll investigation. I'm assuming Raz went with Gifton, so he will take part.
Is this we all can roll or one of us?
All can roll.
Actually, how about this?
That is not going to work. You try it and
Okay.
it cannot penetrate the cells.
All right, you're gonna try.
Okay. Right. Well, that's some good rolls. You actually find traces and lead to another automata, which appears to be going from wall to wall, checking to make sure there are no cracks or such on each of the embedded cells. Just going one by one.
Reassignment temporary. We need you to guide us to. Here's the problem: the weapon that I sent Tilde for is the one I remember most. I'm trying to remember what the other fucking thing was.
You had the Severance of Faith.
No, that was a low item, so it's already there.
Turn of Faith, we were skipping.
Turn of Faith.
Oh, we didn't want Turn of Faith.
Yeah, we're skipping that one.
The egg.
To my list.
The egg was not an item that we're going for.
Faith is we have the sword or the suction.
Yeah, the sword or the suction. Which of these two items is closer? The sword that kills anything, or the suction thing that sucks something away?
The sword that can affect all things.
The suction is located closer to this unit than the sword.
Where is the sword located?
The sword is located. It's going to give you a location. Like it will start to list off a letter and a number that is meaningless.
Sub 3.
Take us to the suction thing.
Are they near each other?
No,
they're in opposite directions.
And it will start leading you towards the suction.
Okay.
And
not the one I wanted, that's the one we're getting, I guess.
And as you're moving,
you could check to see if it's in the same area as the other object and send the other group at it.
Shaksan, the door number that we were just told, can you relay that to the other group and ask if their robota thinks it's close to them and if they could pick it up?
Yep, actual relay information to Delta.
I will then ask that of the robota. Okay. The robota will inform you that it is roughly 2 minutes of travel through the corridors away.
Would it be quicker to go there on the way to the other destination, or to get
definitely
there on
deeper
the way
in
back out?
Towards the sounds?
All right, set that as a secondary destination.
Confirmed. Which now that you're all aware of it and are listening, those sounds aren't coming closer. They're not chasing you. They're moving now and then. Like they sound a bit more distant, sound a little closer, but there's no pursuit.
So, if you could pray a series of expletives.
I mean, you're fully capable of it.
I'm just saying, I'm getting creative.
Speaking out of experience, yes.
I'm just saying. Gifton's being creative, and she's not being quiet about it. Dear Maris, you motherfucker.
Are you doing that audible or what?
Yeah, that's what she's saying.
Gifton, stop that. There's no point in goading him to do something more drastic.
Me feel better.
Well,
If she got him into doing more, it might overplay his hand and tell us something.
He has
looks
already
at Ilan.
overplayed his hand.
He looks at Ilan. I think that's already taken care of.
Yeah, I have a feeling he didn't think to maybe see if there's anyone else here.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it would be an overplay for anyone to admit to being in here right now. So I look over at Ilan. You can't say you were here.
That growl just deepens.
Because otherwise you get in trouble when you're getting him in trouble.
So I'm just to pretend that nothing is happening. Play one of his games.
That's what we're always stuck doing.
I mean, he was brought here by one of the custodians.
Not on official business.
Oh, okay. I thought it was official.
I mean, officially you made it so I didn't get locked away forever. But that's the thing.
And there is just a grumbling about him, or about, you know, he's the worst, she's the worst. Like the pronouns change throughout the sentences.
You mean about Miris?
About Miris, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, at first I think you thought it's the guy that gifted there.
Oops. Yeah. But first group traveling with Dadriel. You will reach the cell number, which he just promptly steps his hand against, and then
we would like to be referred to as Daddy's Boys.
Daddy's Boys. Okay, Daddy's Boys. Your cell door does that. Okay, Daddy's Boys and Daddy's Little Girl. Sure. Your cell door opens agonizingly slow. But once it's open, just on a plinth made of the same material as the cell itself, this was the ammunition group?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that what looks like to be, and it's just the head of a crossbow bolt. There's no actual bolt attached to it.
It's like the shard arrows.
Yeah, so conceivably you could put this on an arrow.
Single.
Yes, just one. Singular arrowheads, but it is definitely... You know the difference between a crossbow bolt shape and an arrowhead shape.
Yeah.
Just a singular bolt sitting there.
I'm going to take a piece of cloth.
Smart man.
And put it in my... wrap it and put it in my backpack.
Okay. Very good. All right. You retrieve that. Are you going to head for sword, or are you going to start heading back?
I'm going to relay to Shax that I am going to attempt to retrieve the sword. It is deeper into the facility, but not too far.
Shax will sort of go right. Okay. Very well. Be safe. And then just relay. They're going to get the sword. It's not very far from their location.
Echo is following us, right? Yeah.
And they seem unworried about things and just sort of following curiously. Yes?
Corvus, kind of realizing that this is one of Miris's things, he is in that more casual pose of himself as well, but he is still ready to spring if something were to come forth.
Mm-hmm. The other group.
Cass is actually looking like she's ready to have a panic attack.
Hey, Cass, it's family.
Hey, you know what? You could go unleash all of these.
You know, Cass might actually be here.
Yeah. It might be crackling lightning. That would actually be a really Beerus thing to do, is that one of these is going to start just shooting lightning everywhere.
And the other group, you soon reach your cell. Gonna slap your hand.
Yep.
As you put your hand against it, Iden is taking up a sort of guarding posture around you. He's like hunched over. He is definitely acting more feral than farmhand now. But Raz has his pistol out, seems to be ready to cast with the other hand. But your cell door also opens very, very slowly. And once it does, it slides open and you see a sort of crackling sphere of energy. It's not a full surface, it's like interlaced strings of energy that create like little symbols and such. Like a ball of twine with gaps in it. Or everyone knows the little shrinky grow orbs, right?
Yeah.
It's like that. Yeah.
That's slightly pulsating, growing larger and smaller, larger and smaller.
That is around what looks like to be nothing, like a void of blackness. And it even seems to distort the image of the energy surrounding it. Like it feels like you can maybe see the back of the sphere at the same time.
Feels like a black hole.
It does not feel pleasant to look at.
True sight doesn't make this better, does it?
True sight doesn't actually make any difference.
It's a black hole. It just sucks it in.
Okay. I'm not actually sure how to take that one.
Automata, how is the safe handling of this item?
Item must move.
Robota.
Item can only be moved with enough magical energy.
How much?
I'm gonna motion everybody back out of the room.
How much magic?
And then I'm gonna slowly close the door. With me on the side that it's closed into the hallway because I want to be out of the room as well. I'm calling no on that one.
I'm still asking the question though.
To reach the defined levels of energy needed, mortal casters would muster a group of 3 high-level mages.
Yeah, so shoving everybody out in the hallway and closing the door. Letting it lock.
So,
I had that moment where I was sitting there going, do I want to actually canon find the magic level system into my game as a classification system?
Yeah, I was hoping
the Automata might have that.
That's why I was seriously pondering it. You know what? Fuck it. They would. You know, they tier things. It seems likely. They go. This would require the effort of 1/10th level spellcaster, or multiple 9th level spellcasters.
That's all.
I'm only a 9th level, I think, because I don't think it counts in circles. I don't know.
Ellen just is giving you a look.
Out of character to the
What is my ranking?
out of
I don't buck with this ranking, but I think you forget what company you are in.
He probably could.
Yeah, but we can't safely take that around without you.
He's just gonna move into the room, and grab the sphere.
Robota, is that item active at all times?
Confirmed.
Does it actively draw in large volumes or need to be activated to pull every?
I thought this was the thing that sucked a creature into another realm.
Confirmed.
Sucked everything into another.
How?
a 9th level spellcaster is someone who can cast 5th levels for wizards.
No, because I think that is bullshit. I am using the direct spell correlation.
Spell correlation.
The worst thing that they still have is having levels in separate terms for one class thing.
So 9th levels, got it.
Curiosity is, can I channel the energy of it even though I can't cast it? Because I have spell points. That's an out of character later discussion.
All right, let's go.
Is there anything else, Gifton? Anything?
I didn't have time. We don't have time. Let's just go.
We will be back.
Given the things are not coming back towards us, I think our time is ample.
We have time, Gifton.
Robota.
I think that the gods are going to notice that Ilan hasn't shown up to talk about the weird rumble earlier.
Raz is actually closing his eyes and kneeling down on the ground and clasping his hands together,
What the hell are you doing?
praying,
Who?
To whom?
His father.
Father,
I
No.
think that's a
we
very wise
see
idea.
your bluff, and you are annoying, Ilan. If you want the charade to continue, I suggest you give up. It's already out.
Oh,
He has a point. That prayer.
I'm sure Ilan will agree that things will stay under the covers for the time being. Don't agree to anything. He agrees. There is a deathly look at the disobedience.
I go, I mean, he's lying to his dad. That's really not a bad thing.
Keep the fail up. Call off your dogs. There is a few long moments where those rumblings and crashes continue before suddenly all sound ceases.
Well,
Thank you. And he's going to stand up.
I'm gonna go over and give Raz a hug.
And he just gives you one of those one-armed hugs in return.
so, Gifton, is there anything else?
I actually had a thought.
What?
Roberta, wow.
Robata.
Robata, is there anything in here that can be used to restore a being?
Please clarify. Do you speak of resurrection?
Do you have any items that can purify a affected divinity?
There's a few moments before it goes. Such research has not been committed. There are items that can apply divinity, teach divinity. Testing on standard defined beings has not been done.
What items can apply divinity?
There is a few moments of musical whirring, beeping before it starts to list off roughly 7-8 items.
Are they safe for mortal use in that they will not cause physical or spiritual harm?
Or mental harm?
There is a brief beeping, and then it repeats 3 of the items.
Please compile and bring them to the main corridor. Thank you.
Confirmed.
Redirect robotas as you need.
I guess the other side of that, is there any that can restore the mind of a being?
Corvus looks at you weirdly.
It's what's happened to Morgani.
It's trying to fix Morgani's mental illness.
Right.
There are items that are able to influence the mental state of a being. Restoration can be done if the underlying cause is magical continuous effect.
Do any items here with that work on divine beings?
Unknown.
Don't think they'll have that information.
What is the most powerful of said items in this facility? Figure it should be the strongest one, right?
There is a whirring and beeping before it goes. The most powerful of mental restoration items, able to undo all manner of known charming magic. And then it will actually start to list off a bunch of other schools, probably even some terms that are unfamiliar because it's counting other fucking things. Yeah. It'll go. Excuse me while I make something up right now.
The MacGuffin.
The Rod of Omar.
Oh my god.
What are the side effects on mortals that are known?
Side effects on mortals are spontaneous combustion.
Try to laugh.
Right. I feel like this is a bad item. to
Okay,
grab.
so we should step down. What is the strongest of said items?
Jack
that-
will actually look and go. I will point out again that I'm able to make myself immune to fire.
I don't know if that counts as fire. I'll be honest. That sounds worse than fire.
Regardless, having no mega option if all else fails would not be in our force.
What
You
is
do not need to use it, but having it as one on the table is not bad.
This is for Morgani, Raz goes.
That's what I am.
She's hardly
looking for,
mortal.
yes.
Yeah, I think fire probably won't make her explode.
Well-
Maybe.
Is the spontaneous combustion from the user or the target?
The target.
Okay, then it's safe for us to use.
What is the side effects on the user?
None.
Dylan, I don't suppose there's anything you
Okay.
that got locked up in here that you wanted to bust out real quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to use against. He grits his teeth a little bit. Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, if you want to grab it, that's fine. Where's
Is-
that?
I'll have all the
Gifton's-
time in the world to come back in here.
Gifton,
I'm
can
not leaving
we-
your side.
Can we get that? I mean, that's.
This is making my hands tingle.
Yeah, not that.
I'm guessing I do not have permission to get something that would be like that. Would. Do you think we can get it? I don't want to take too much out of here.
Where is it in? Is it in low containment?
It is in. Oh shit! What was the word I used? It's going to repeat the word for the mid-tier containment.
Is
it the one
is the
we're in?
robota able to grab that?
Confirmed.
Collect it, please, and put it in the main hall.
Confirmed.
Okay.
All right. There, you can have that. You can have it. You can have it. I'm just waving my. You can have it. It's fine.
That can fix it. We just have to figure out how to.
Please keep track of what the hell we're taking because we're putting it back.
Yes. Yes.
Well, there's one thing we're not putting back.
Right.
Yes.
Other group.
The armor also, I'm guessing, is not going back.
Also, I want to hold out the armor for Earlyn. You ever see this before?
We'll cover that when I return to this group. Right. Other group.
That's the cliffhanger for the group.
Oh dear. Okay. Other group. You are running down the halls, heading towards this thing. While the sirens are still blaring, you know, we're going back a bit to cover your own journey. As you turn a corner, approaching, you see one of these amorphous beings. It seems less blob-like and more actually sharp-angled. Still seems to be this weird substance, this mix of flesh and darkness. But it's jutting when it moves. It spikes out and pierces against the stonework and actually chips into it, moving itself along. And there is crackling energy moving between these spikes. And Cass, there is a sickening draw.
Cass is scooching back and going, no.
And as you start to scoot back, it seems to halt suddenly. And then there is a flurry of motion, the sparks turning into arcing lightning, cracking against the stonework as it makes this sort of sounding, cracking noise as each spike drives into the stonework, moving it at a rapid pace towards you. And as it approaches the group, 40 meters, 30 meters, within the span of seconds, 20, it drives a spike forward, lightning arcing around it towards you, Cass, and then vanishes.
No.
It was all.
Are you all right?
No, I'm not.
I understand. We will talk after, but for now, we should hurry. Can you continue?
I'll try.
I understand. Thank you.
There. Echo says, sort of patting you on the shoulder, Cass.
Was Echo there?
Yeah. I think Echo was in that group, weren't they?
No, they
No.
were.
Oh, it's the other
Echo's
group.
with.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
No, they're
Gabrielle,
there then.
they're there.
Yeah. That does not do such a comforting there. Just sort of didn't really notice the odd interaction.
I didn't hear Cass yell at it.
Just sort of gives you a look and like, steady. You good?
No, I'm not. That has to end.
I agree. Come, let's get this done. And your group can continue to default, and you open it up, and inside, on an actual sword stand, it looks like, in a scabbard, is a incredibly simple blade. The scabbard itself just looks like it would be made of basic leather and fur, and the hilt is just some wrapped woad around a very basic iron hilt.
Iron.
Cassiopeia, I know it is not your familial blade, but if you wish to take it.
I'm already carrying the other thing. I will.
And you grab the blade, and that goes, I'm familiar with this kind of thing. Do not touch the blade, not in the slightest.
Oh, but it doesn't look sharp at all. Look.
Please.
Flump.
Ow, dead.
What does this thing do again? This is the...
Blade that kills anything, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought this was the one that cut Faith. Okay, so it kills anything.
I should
No, that's
probably.
sitting in Oberon's throne room.
No, it isn't.
No, it's supposed to be.
Nah,
right from your
it's-
front door.
No,
That's in
the
roads,
automata
you're waiting.
said they thought it was in the building. The
Yeah.
automata have to
Which was
visually check.
Oberon.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
is
it's
sad because they'll never find it for me.
The best part is I should carry that because I have this sword that pretends to make wounds. too.
Oh no.
And
We don't have confirmation that they weren't going to check for that one first and then do all the other items.
And you can relay that you've retrieved the blade if you so wish, but I imagine you'll all start making your way back towards the main main corridor.
Mhm.
Correct.
And you are able to gather back up, where there is indeed a now rather sizable pile of items. They're actually arranged rather neatly in containers, but they are waiting for you, and there is a group of automata just sort of standing around them as if guarding.
Yep, I appreciate that, and I'm gonna start putting things in my bag of holding that'll fit.
Yeah, you can fit most of the stuff into a bag of holding easily. None of these are large items.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll put what I can into the bag of holding. I'm checking any sign of my blade.
No.
Damn, I was hoping somehow some random automata got the blade back from him. at
No,
some
there
point.
is no sign of your blade.
There was a dream. No dreams there. All right, that's everything. I guess.
Corvus, while that's happening, Corvus looks at Echo.
Yes.
So what's going to happen when you leave this place?
I don't. Well, I was going to stick with you a little bit, if that's okay. I mean, you wanted my help?
Yes.
I sort of got that feeling.
I think
We
he's
can-
your influence,
Uh,
and it suits your needs to be near him.
yes. Although, it is quite the impulse, but I have willpower, don't you worry.
Well,
I just want to
I'll
shake
trust
him,
you.
though.
Me?
that's fair.
Yes.
Why?
Take you awake.
So it is a common method of waking someone up.
Are we talking?
There's a connection.
Don't
Right.
worry, most of us want to shake him sometimes.
And some of you want to kill me. But
If it would help,
I
I'll
do
shake
not
him
want to
for
kill you, Rez says.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd clarify.
Roll for insight.
Corvus would look at Raz and kind of nod.
He gives you a little wink and a finger gun.
Don't you?
He's discovered it upsets you. He's never going to stop.
Hey, Echo. There's this really neat thing that we do to greet Corvus. You see, what you do is you do things like this.
Yes, Ben?
What?
I feel like you're trying to deceive me. He's clearly vexed by it.
I know, but that's
you
part
want
of
me to
friendship.
shatter reality right now? Because I will.
Ooh, so sensitive.
I'm gonna go over and give Ilan a big hug. I'll be safe.
Ellen sort of hugs you back and goes, I am not leaving your side until you're out of here.
I'm going out the door right now.
Mm-hmm.
Look, walking up the steps.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You gonna come with me?
Yes, I'm sticking with you.
Okay.
All the rest of us
just
went
a
back in.
walking shadow.
No, they encapsulated one of the robotas.
Yeah. It still looks like a robota, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was picturing them as a walking shadow. So
Does
I was
it
like,
still
what?
look identical to the other robota?
It does indeed.
Okay.
Identical, except you can tell something's off just by posture and so on.
Postures.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Relax.
the form's
I'm
the
gonna,
same.
as soon as I get outside, I'm polymorphing myself into a doe deer and just frolicking around outside, like, yay, I'm outside, yay, I'm outside.
Oh, how delightful. And
Who did that come from?
the automata, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jack's going to calmly put away the shotgun. He'd been holding it the whole time because he's still worried about the things.
Ellen's letting out a sigh that is basically that sort of, I have been tense this entire time.
Mhm. He's gonna get deer nosies.
Ass looks like she's about to vomit and break down.
There's a little
Going to put
pet from Ellen. Like from the tree line, not even trying to disguise it, Oberon sort of steps out, and there's a brief moment where he sort of tugs his robes as it gets caught on a branch, and you just hear him mutter, "No, obey me." And he sort of claps his hand together and goes, "Ah, stuffy one," he says, gesturing over at Ilan. "And the rest of you, delightful."
Head bob.
She is
Hello.
adorable. Wow.
Don't.
You brought one of the robots out. Wonderful. I don't like them anymore. His eyes narrow a little towards Echo.
I'm gonna do the cute little deer frolic over to Oberon. Happy frolic, happy frolic, happy frolic.
Oh,
Beep, beep.
we will have to spend some time together like this.
Head bob.
Meep, meep.
I let it go and I hug Dingus.
Dingus bobs his head enthusiastically. He's like, no, this better.
Since I was actually not here at the very beginning, there's a big open area in front
It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
garden.
of the garden.
It's a
Yeah.
garden. That's why I was like, I'm gonna go turn into a deer.
So, are you done in there?
Go full
Yeah,
drag
we're done in there.
and kind of stretch out because there was a little stress there.
How about I serve you awesome tea and little cakes here, and you can all relax, spend some time gathering yourselves. Some of you look very, he sort of waves his fingers towards Cass. Not superb. What do you like to drink, pretty? He says to you, Cass.
Whiskey.
Whiskey. Oh. A wonderful womanly drink that. I will get you some.
We're pretending to be mad at him right now.
I'm tilting my head at him. If you're just waiting around for us to come back out.
Of course not. I have far better things to do with my time.
I know, you're being very doting. It's sweet.
I am trying to decide whether I want to be a sweet lord or not. I think I will accept that. Yes, I am. Delightfully sweet.
Impressively so.
Grandly so.
Yes.
Humbly.
No, never humbly.
No. He's far too fantastic for that.
That was worth a shot.
Well, if you would prepare us a nice little break, I'll play my harp a bit. We can relax. It's
Wonderful.
really good to see you.
And grand to see you as well. Ah, marvelous. Did you bring anything interesting out? No, tell me over cakes. I will return shortly. And he's going to wander back off into the bushes, which now do move at his command. Someone was not focusing before.
I'm just going to mouth silently at Ilan. This is weird.
Ellen just shrugs a bit and goes, I've actually seen him like this a small amount of times. Faye go through phases.
Ellen.
Have you over the years come in and checked in on them?
Of course.
Ellen,
Yes.
with your mirrors, how are you going to handle that?
I'm not allowed to hurt him.
Right.
And it's not really something that can be brought up currently, as there's too many offending parties involved with what just happened.
And I think I shall find myself busy and not see him much.
That's probably the best way to handle it.
Should we tell him since Amor knows as well? Points to himself.
I do not want any part in his games. I will leave you to decide what you want to do and who to inform.
It's not anything to do with his games.
It kind of is.
I hate that it is considered that.
I think that is all that really needs to be said about that. That we all hate that it's part of the game.
Thank you for your assistance with.
Thank you so much. You can.
May I take the armor?
Yeah, because I was going to ask him about that.
I know.
Yeah,
I know the spirit that inhabits it, and it
doesn't deserve to be locked up in a case
it doesn't.
like that.
But
It's wild. I give it a slight brush and I offer it out to him.
friend, let's find you somewhere to be.
I hope it can find something happier to be.
Maybe I can craft something for it to
Be worn by.
Yes.
That would be nice, I think. Thank you, Ellen. I couldn't leave it in there. A poor thing.
Unfortunately, it has taken this cycle for me to learn how to caretake.
But you can change. You're doing a great job. I smile.
It was easier to run wild and free, but he just sort of nods over to where Oberon walked off, taking care of her things. I understand its purpose. I will do what I can.
It seems a cycle is a lot of learning for everybody.
Much learning is the first, it feels.
I'd love to hear about the first sometime.
He actually grimaces a little bit and shakes his head. I don't
really
think
just
you
love to
would.
hear about anything sometime.
And we'll find good stories to share.
Thank you. And I'll give a deep bow.
He nods his head and looks back to the facility. I'm going to do a final walk to the place, make sure everything is as it should be.
Mm-hmm. We're going to sneak in there again sometime. There's a baby dragon we want to get out. But we'll wait. So it's safe.
If anything is of a miss, I will let you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he's actually going to step back in. And
before things turn to a more light manner of emotions,
I look over at Cassie and go, I think we've got a lot of caretaking to do in the group, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yes, we have Cass to help with whatever happened in there.
Uh-huh.
Do you do have the ability to cast a regeneration.
Yeah.
Corvus immediately plucks out his eyes, screaming, "Do it!"
I will need your assistance, or maybe Cass can take out more of her anger towards me in a more permanent way. I need you to get rid of this arm.
What? What's wrong with your arm?
It's a liability. I've tried
it's a
to.
lefty, but you know.
Oh my god.
You see,
It's part-
Echo was actually looking down at one of their arms briefly, as if wondering, arms are a liability?
It's. I wasn't believing it was, but it's
Corvus,
more
I'm gonna
than.
put my
Listen.
hand-
Listen first, please. I thought maybe that it was just something to do with whatever's going on with Miris. But I'm pretty sure this arm connects me to him in some way or fashion. I draw upon whatever he wants to give. When I turned magic back on the airship, I didn't believe it was him until we actually saw him. I saw Miris helping us. It was my plea that brought Miris here. Is because of whatever I've done with that blade to infuse it into my arm. He gives me what I
Out
can
of character, let me interrupt one thing. I'm the
Yeah.
one that saw Miris on the airship, not you.
do. Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Did you describe him?
I said that I saw Miris on the airship. I'm just letting
Okay.
you know out of character.
Okay,
you're
sorry.
saying it wrong.
Well, we're
Yeah, you have the information.
Back
but
it
it's
up.
not
You have
from
the
your-
information inaccurate
Yeah.
for the source.
yeah,
I saw
but,
Miris on the airship.
You saw Miris, got it.
Mhm.
But same sentiment applies.
Corvus.
I don't want to be able or rely on something that can be snuffed out.
This is in character. Corvus. Literally, we're mortal creatures. We are something that can be snuffed out. We are
When it-
reliant on anything about us can be snuffed out. And my dear sweet summer doctor, I'm gonna put my hand on your shoulder. If he's giving you something and he's going to manipulate you with it, he could be manipulating you with it to make you deny it or whatever. There are so many intricacies of how that lovely lady works. And if they so desire to do these things, they will. But cutting off your nose to spite your face isn't going to change much. And we already know from the dreamer that will eventually wake is, in the end, he wants us to succeed. And the he I'm talking about is Miris.
She's
She
a
might-
dick.
She's a dick, but he's also kind of wonderful in that way. So
I'm
it's-
curious who said that.
Echo.
It was Echo.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure it was Echo or Raz. So
honestly, I believe that they probably hid Echo away for Echo's own good, much as Echo probably hates it. And they did all that big hullabaloo to try to make us scared that, oh no, Miris doesn't want us to let Echo out. But you know what? They didn't actually stop us. So I
your
don't
ability
see the
did
value of
work on
chopping
the
off
thing.
your arm to do anything other than you'll lose your arm. If you're going to lose your power, you're going to lose your power from them. If you choose not to rely on it, sure, use your wits, use your everything else, but you don't need to just chop the arm off. He's giving you those tools because he wants you to succeed.
I
I mean,
still think it's a bad idea, but
if he
we'll see
wished
how it
to-
plays out.
And
if she wished- Okay.
if she was really out to manipulate and control you with it, there's nothing we could do. She's a god. And look over at Carrick.
And I mean, we just had the perfect point for that to have been taken away from you when you tried to banish the little show.
You did something great by having that power. Hold on to it for a while longer. We'll chop your arm off if we have to later.
Yeah, totally.
Just notice a small pattern.
Echo was just looking between you as you're talking and just goes, wow, sounds like you've got a lot going on.
There's a lot to catch up on.
Correct.
Yeah, they just waved their hand dismissively.
How big did you say the robots are again?
Like
About
Goliath size.
a Goliath size, yeah.
Okay, so they're still a medium creature.
Yes.
I'm gonna actually scoot over and kind of look down and kind of be like, I can look around it now. 'Cause I'm in dragon form still. Just kidding. Are you going to change how you look? You mentioned on the way through.
Yes, I need to figure that out. I suppose I should look a lot more like you. You are pretty.
I've been told
Don't.
hair is nice.
Gifton's eyes widen.
What?
Suddenly have another dragon around.
It is. I said that this kind is a lot closer to our kind.
He did.
You so, even more so than he. She points at Jackson. I mean,
Not very
two
different,
legs.
bat
It's very
species.
funny. And they sort of wave one of their own legs.
Josh just nods and goes, to be fair, I'm a bit of a bastard species.
Oh
Takes us to the
no.
What?
Grandson.
What?
What?
Grandson?
She gone mad? What?
I mean,
Gifton's just gonna go hold her head and walk off to the side and just shake and just go, I'm sorry, Cassie, you're going through a lot right now. Are you okay?
I think she's really strange family
When
things.
did you adopt his mother?
no, I'm guessing. Were you aimed at me or at Shaq?
Who did you say that to, Gifton?
Like,
That's the
I
question.
was looking dead on at Echo.
Oh, I think she means
That's the
a
grandson.
version
Okay.
of Matt. Yes, okay. I think you
She gone
you
quite
reminded
mad.
her. No, you reminded her.
I think I referred to myself as Auntie. That's rather far from it.
I think.
I don't know what just surprisingly sane for her.
Oh, I suppose I could be grandson.
There are noises. There are just noises.
I think that's
pained noises.
directed.
I
at-
want to just think
form
about my
stuff.
brothers for a bit. I'm gonna hold Raziel and Dadriel's hands for a minute.
Shared look of concern. And
Thoughts.
as-
Thoughts.
as they're looking at each other, that is actually where we're going to end this week's session. Okay. Alright, everybody take a cool 4,000 experience points. Everyone can have a piety point of choice except Miris's. If anyone has Miris, you cannot take a Miris point right now.
Okay. Putting a point into the Fae, just so you know.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. And we will
26.
do this same time next week.
Yay.
Yeah.
Same bat time, same bat channel.